they're
Listen,
happy.
dude, I'm done with it.
Dude, you've been done.
I'm still here.
For what? See. Why? Because you just want to be a asshole.
You're right.
Then why the would you be in this competition?
I'm here.
Bone face.
Why do you look 50 and you're 24?
What? What did you say? Go yourself.
Would you rather have the brand new PS5 or a weekend with these three lovely ladies and you can do anything you want with them?
Wait, anything with them?
Like anything.
A whole weekend?
A whole weekend.
Damn, but the PS5 though, like it just dropped.
I know.
Oh, damn, y'all beautiful though, but
Hold on, what'd you say?
PS5 or us?
Oh,
bro, y'all beautiful, but I had a PlayStation 4 for 4 years, but I need a PS5.
God.
My nigga.
That all up in me at one time. Don't try to make me take all that dick at one time.
Slow and easy.
He said, don't worry. I wouldn't do that to you. I would not rush all this dick up in you at one time. I'm going to take it easy on you. She said, okay, I think I can take it. So he laid down. The nigga rushed all that dick up in her.
Jammed it into there.
Jam and round.
Like Jam City.
All kind of dick up in that girl at one time.
Hey.
And took her breath some more.
A win is a win. A win is a win. I don't care what y'all say. A win is a win.
Thanks for all your help. Bye-bye, Tanja. Bye-bye.
I want to do it the right way and learn some of the unwritten rules.
That's why I was talking about the seminar, so that we can get players to come down there and bring their grievance, their problem, how to catch a hooker, what you do to be a boss player, what do I say to my wife when I decided that I wanted to be a true player and walk out on the family. We need a seminar so we can teach these guys to give them the right understanding so they'll know, man.
Yo, what's up, y'all? It's Cali West. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Yo, we can go straight to the script tonight. You already see what we got on the menu. It appears to this Andrew Williams guy. He's like one of those conservative red pill guys who decided he wanted to challenge Coach Greg Adams to a debate that essentially turned into an argument. And by all means, we're going to find out why. And I'm going to show it live here. That shows like what went down. And then, we can chime in on it in between the process. Now, of course, let me go through the comment section because we all know the righteous spirit is real. And we got to give props where props is due. We got my boy XO Pro. He says like, share, subscribe. Cash App, $ Cali West 1. Follow on X, also formerly known as Twitter. So, salute to you for that. He also says at the pill. Game After Dark. Yeah, because we over this red pill Ranger shit. You feel me? We're on the after pill. We're trying to bounce up and get our lives better. You feel me? And one way of getting it better is by not being following under weaklings. Now, Jay Flo says salute to Cali West, Exo Pro, and chat. UJam City, US of A. Yes, sir.
Jam and round.
Like Jam City.
Jay Flo asked
Like Jam
a very
City.
good question.
And round.
Like Jam City.
He says, how do I marry a single mama and be a stepdaddy?
Congratulations, you played yourself.
You know what? We're gonna talk about that. You know what? We're gonna talk about that because there's a lot of few things that we gotta go through. The red pill testaments and stuff like that. I was under the impression that red pill was supposed to stand for something, but hey, you know what? I guess you learn a new thing every day. And some things, sometimes, things are just temporary. Sometimes some things are just for a season. Not saying that, red pill, there's not any true red pill talking points, but I believe that, some people are being delusional. One thing I learned about being in a red pill is that, the men are just as delusional as the woman. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and navigate this Coach Greg Adams situation with Andrew Wilson. Where's it at? So yeah, we're gonna play it here. Now, somebody else in here. Sky Daddy 4444 says Andrew Wilson, Russell Wilson, DJ M5. That's a big dog. Yes, sir. You already know. I gotta give all your boys here. In the salute.
My nigga.
Okay. So I think we got it here. And you know what I'm gonna do? Just so they could go this a little bit faster, I'm gonna change up the speed on this. I'm gonna speed this up some. Let me know if y'all can understand it, okay? Y'all should be able to understand it. But if y'all can't understand it, if it's going too fast, let me know. I'm gonna go to maybe 1.5 speed. All right, let me share it on the screen. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear it, or y'all can hear it coherently. Let's see here. Boom.
Oh no.
Can you confirm it's in airplane mode, so there won't be any cheating?
It is in airplane mode.
Okay.
All right, so we're all good then?
Yeah, I just have this up so that that's how I'm going to see my notes.
Okay, cool. Let's get this thing going. I'll kick it off. You guys ready?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, we're good. Okay, guys, finally getting started. Thanks for being patient. I know there were some delays. We got Andrew here versus Coach Greg Adams, aka the Free Agent Lifestyle. We're going to talk about today, is marriage worth it for men in the West? So let's get into some opening statements. Who wants to start off?
Yeah, man, marriage is a great institution. It was an institution that built the community of America. Most of the better communities that have safety, good children, good schools are typically centered around marriage. However, marriage has not progressed to the point where men could be safe legally, and a lot of men have experienced tremendous damage, collateral damage as a result, and it has led to broken families, a lot of broken hearts, simply because the laws are not positioned to benefit both people in a divorce. Therefore, you have no-fault divorce. You have opportunities for women to use the courts against men. And as a result, men have seen 1, 2, and 3 generations of men getting harmed, their grandfathers, their fathers, their uncles, their brothers getting harmed by this. So Generation Z men are not positioning themselves for a positive marriage. So at this particular point, if someone asked me, would I recommend marriage for them, and they were in a certain position in life, they weren't established, I would say no. There's no benefit for the person to get married today.
Got it. Your response, Andrew?
So, okay. Let me just chime in real quick. My opinion, everything that Coach Greg Adams said is a good point, because let's just be real. I was born in a marriage. Maybe the marriage, didn't last forever, but I was born in a marriage, and and I can honestly say that, based off of my experience and my experience seeing family and friends and other people around me when I was growing up, I tend to realize that everyone who had a mother and a father, usually fared off way better than the kids who were divorced, separated. And a lot of times, you're not finding out really for superficial nonsense. And then you're realizing too that as a man, you get the shitty end of the stick. This is something that I've always known, even as a little kid. I just thought it was just something that was just the norm, so I never complained about it. But I remember one time, I watching this cartoon, and the dad had to leave the house. And I asked my brother, why does the man have to leave? And you know what? I have to say this, but I almost feel like my brother was upset that I even asked that. But he didn't say anything to me. He just was quiet about it, which is really kind of odd. And mind you, this is like when we was like, I don't know, 6 to 10 years old, like really young, right? But I always noticed that men always got the shitty end of the stick. So anyway, salute to Sky Daddy 444. He says Rollo and them dudes are hella lame. Can't see how anybody watched them goofies. He says CGA won hands down, but he could have definitely done better. He has results, truth, and experience on his side. Yo, man, I appreciate that $10 super chat, G.
My nigga.
I need that. You feel me? So salute. And I'll just say this much. Okay. And then J Flo says, well, in my opinion, from what I've seen, I believe that Coach Greg Adams did a good job based off of what he was dealing with. He was dealing with a guy who he wanted to like, they wanted him to have a perfect, you can't have a perfect debate with someone who's having a bad faith argument. Answering questions, Andrew Wilson answering questions with questions is not, debate. He seemed like he wanted to get more questions. He seemed like Andrew Wilson was more focused on trying to trip up Coach Greg Adams than anything else. Why? Because he kind of knew that his points was it's all ideas and all speculative. Let's just be real, it's all speculative. Because guess what? Andrew Wilson, you're not the only one who considered getting married without a marriage license. I mean, read this. Anyone who's a real Christian knows that technically you don't have to be married with the state to be married. We understand that. But one thing that we know is that if you walk around here acting like you're married, that doesn't mean that a woman cannot still sue you for at least playing house. And that was the point that Coach Gavin was trying to land. Now, J Flo says marriage today is not marriage of the past. Facts. But somehow Andrew Wilson believes that he can use societal pressure to make women want to be honest women when, TV says otherwise. Sex and the City said otherwise. Bad Girls Club said otherwise. I mean, think about it. Women could even make their own money. So, I mean, how are you going to get a woman to, relinquish that freedom? In my opinion, you have to deal with a woman who wants to do that. And then keep in mind, even if a woman wants to do that, she could easily change her mind. And that's what Coach Greg Adams warns men about. You can get married if you want, but guess what? If you get, if you get fucked over in a marriage, at least expect it. It's kind of like stocks, right? You had to sign certain waivers and stuff like that if you have a stockbroker about your losses and stuff like that, right? See, people are willing to take certain risks, right? It's like gambling. There's a certain known risk that men are unaware of when it comes to marriage That's what Coach Greg Adams' main point he was trying to drive home. Sky Daddy says salute to J Flow. Then Sky Daddy also says that Wilson is an agent. All them dudes is agents. Man, yo, real talk. I think we discussed this openly in the panel before. There's a lot of people with agents. Like, for example, Myron Gaines is an FBI agent, and he never actually hit it. I mean, come on, y'all. So when I heard that he was going there to talk about, sitting with Andrew Wilson, agreeing with Andrew Wilson, I wasn't even surprised because Myron Gaines is always kind of a flip flopper. You know what I'm saying? I mean, get this. He was cool with Donovan Sharp, and y'all know how I feel about Donovan Sharp. Y'all already know that I feel that Donovan Sharp is an Uncle Tom coon. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, dog. Straight up coon ass ninja, bro. He named his podcast Hard R. He's entertaining the Trailer Park Clanosphere members, bro. These ain't, jumpy white boys from Harvard or going to Yale or, go to Notre Dame or something like that. No, these are old Trailer Park white boys who, would like to hear anything bad about Tyrone and Chad so they can feel better about their small little ass, having ass, lives. P. Francis says, "What up, chat? What up, Cali West?" And once again, salute to my boy, P. Francis for being a long time supporter, and I do appreciate the cash that he's sent your boy today. Salute,
My nigga.
I appreciate you, Jude. G, thank you for checking in, bro. J Flow says, "Secret weddings enforced like Braveheart ass ninjas." We talking about Donovan Sharp? Who got married in the forest? Because I did it. Because this is what come to find out. They say, and I don't know if this is true or not. They say that Devin is has a daughter or has a child, and Donovan's a stepfather. But from what I heard, he secretly got married to her for sure. I don't know how true it is about the stepmother situation or the stepfather situation, and it's funny because for what it's worth, Devin is a really sweet, nice lady. You know what I'm saying? But if Donovan Sharp is basically long story short, fuck that nigga. We ain't even talk about that bullshit. Yeah, XO Fro. Yeah, these motherfuckers, they want to get married. They love to get married, huh? Like, why can't you just have a girl and just have a child? Or at least if you're gonna get married, at least we'll be willing to accept that there's a risk. I think the problem was Andrew Wilson's problem with Coach Greg Adams is the fact that Coach Greg Adams pointed out that that's not a perfect scenario. Yes, you might want to get with a girl who's down with an ecclesiastical relationship, but what if she changes her mind and no longer wants to be ecclesiastical? That's what Coach Greg Adams brought up. And guess what? He didn't have a true answer to that, because guess what? We all know that women change their mind all the time. So this is why most debt is held, especially student loan debt and credit card debt, is held by women. They're quick to change their mind. Not saying that men don't do the same thing, but guess what? We all know women are quick to change their mind when it comes to legal contracts. It doesn't matter whether it's a legal contract or not. They're quick to renege. They want to renegotiate after they done drank up the liquor and smoked up all the dope. J Flo says Andrew was selling secret weddings. Ooh, yeah, exactly. Oh, and it's so good that when you not get married by the state. Right, but the flip side to it is that, if anyone who has at least watched court TV or at least watched these major court cases, we all know that a lot of this stuff is subjective to the judge. The judge could choose to say, you know what, y'all did jump over the broom like they did back in the antebellum slavery. Y'all married. You decide to go jump over the TP. Y'all married. Now, J Flo says, you never know her body count. Oh, slow down. We're going to get to that in a moment. And J Flo, we're not going to forget to talk about that tonight. Scott Daddy says if Wilson gave Jim Jones, he said if Wilson gives me Jim Jones Oh, yeah. He wants you to drink poisonous Kool-Aid. For sure. For sure. I ain't a cat, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll be careful about one of his fault.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
Facts. We ain't telling no lie.
Yeah, I didn't hear any anti-marriage arguments. I heard anti-divorce arguments. So I'm with you on divorce, 100%.
Stream over.
And
I agree.
But it's a good thing that the topic isn't on divorce, it's on marriage. And it seems like you agree with my proposition then. And the proposition is that marriage, quote, is a great institution.
Yep.
And that right now your concern is that men can't be safe in marriage, but that's not actually what you're saying. You're not saying men can't be safe in marriage. They can. You're saying that they may not be safe in divorce. So I have a counter proposition for you. My counter proposition is, what if it's the case that you can use religious marriage institutions without the state? And then we add the ecclesiastical structure of the marriage. That's what always kept them together anyway, before the state was ever involved. So what if instead we use the ecclesiastical church, the structure of the old churches? So that would be Catholicism and Orthodoxy, where you see the lowest divorce rates, because the community puts pressure on the women to act right. That's what they do. Right now, the state applies no pressure on women to act right, right? You can just go and file whatever you want, get a divorce, and go be banging the neighbor by the next night. We totally agree on that. But to say that we should abandon marriage is silly. It seems like you're completely pro-marriage. You're just anti-divorce. So why wouldn't you just throw your weight behind institutions where the divorce rate is the least, and you have an ecclesiastical structure which can be appealed to assist with that? That's what makes no sense to me.
Okay. Can I just add, before I even go any further, that one of the first people that I met who I knew was Catholic, okay? The first person who I knew personally who was Catholic was probably when I was about 3 or 4 years old. And it was like my neighbor. And it was like when we first came out to live in Miami. And one thing for sure I could definitely tell you is that I remember them saying that they're Catholic, right? But, you know, my young friend, his mother was a single mother. So if Catholics are the ones who do the best and, you know, they stick to religious doctrine, then why were there Catholics walking around as single mothers?
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Oh! Who are these niggas?
I cried laughing when I read it.
You know what I'm saying? like, we need to stay away from these niggas.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Because Catholic people still get divorced. Now, here's another two. Okay. I do want to say that Catholic people, it is in their religion not to get divorced and stuff like that. But guess what? Like I said, I know other Catholic people who are Catholic, but guess what? They had another wife, they had a woman before, you know what I'm saying, before their wife and stuff like that. Man, look, the bottom line is, do we forget that Catholic priests were like getting convicted for like PDF files and all that? Do we forget about that? The archdiocese and all that stuff, and archbishops, dealing kids and shit like that. Get the fuck out of here.
Nasty bitch.
And like I said, if you go to any barrio or even any favela in Italy, you will find some single mothers, and they're Catholic. Now, J Flo says Catholics are dirty just the same. Here's the thing, anyone could be dirty. You could be Muslim and be dirty. You could be Jewish and be dirty. You could be Christian and be dirty. Man, look, it's not based off your religion. You know what I'm saying? We know this. And that's why I feel that's ridiculous. And to quote Coach Greg Adams, you know, they do have the circles wagging. You know, they do have the wagging circles, man. I mean, come on now. You don't think the United States was considering this? And here's another too. You know how that ecclesiastical shit is bullshit? Because guess what? When foreigners come to this country, right, and they get divorced, guess what? Do you think they even ask for the paperwork of the other country? No. Once a woman files, the man must answer it. Trust me, I know some foreigners who got divorced, and I don't think they had to produce any paperwork from Jamaica, or produce any paperwork from Mexico or anything like that. Guess what? The person said they're man, and the man agreed, or whether he wanted the position or not. Guess what? They're gonna do their research and due diligence and look at the records. And here's another too. You don't think that the court checks your employment and check your marital status, your job, to see if you're getting any tax write-off for claiming that you're married and shit like that? J. Flo says, I was raised Catholic. I've seen enough sin to know the church can't force, can't stop the force of the streets.
Emotional damage.
And one point that Coach was trying to land is that, and here's nothing too. Adams Wilson, if you're watching this, I must ask. I mean, I know you've been with a woman because you have kids, but how many women have you been with, bro? The reason why I ask that is because this guy really doesn't sound like he's been with women. And the reason why I say that is because the main fact that you even have to get someone else to convince your wife to go sleep with you, that obviously means that that's the type of guy who doesn't want to accept that his woman does not like him. They wanted to go back to the Salem witch trials where people were living in little log cabins, and they're able to govern and force women to do what they wanted to go do, even though these women don't really want to be with them. Shit crazy. And I'm going to say this much. Main reason why religion worked, and Coach Greg Adams laid this point out, is because there were usually legal ramifications behind not going against the Judeo-Christian, or going against the Christian or the Christian beliefs in the United States. Like, for example, but why? But guess what? A lot of reasons why you can't do a lot of things, and a lot of reasons. And the truth is, Coach Greg Adams brought up this good point. He mentioned the main reason why people get married. I mean, all right, marriage is really supposed to be for family building, but let's just be real. We all know that, man, to this day, even in 2025, men are getting married so they could get they could get access to full-time pussy, bro. Let's just be real. But let's continue.
My response to that is, if we're fifths, we'd be all drunk. All right. So that's a scenario that just isn't present.
Can you explain the analogy for me?
Well, if we use if, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. If we say if we have a situation where this is present, then this would work. Well, that makes sense. If we had that, it would work
right now.
Well, it doesn't necessarily work because, and I'm going to tell you why, because a woman can go to a divorce attorney and they can simply just say, hey, listen, it was a off the cuff, off the state divorce, but you got married within a certain state, or she filed in a certain state, so therefore the divorce goes on. Absolutely, yes. Listen, I've been with the divorce attorneys, and what they'll tell you is, hey, listen, you can get married in a ritual, you can get married in the orthodoxy, you can get married off record, but if she files and that woman is hell-bent on saying, we got married, I don't care if it was a ceremony where we walked on coals with our feet bare, that's considered a marriage. You also have common law. You have a lot of other ways for that woman to establish marriage.
How does your way eliminate common law?
I don't have any way to eliminate common law. So what I have is a way for men to avoid
then the
being used. No, the argument's not silly. So here's what you have. You have a if proposition, which doesn't exist for most men. Most men aren't religious. Most men aren't looking to be under a religious orthodoxy. So it doesn't apply. So you're taking a moral standard or a religious standard to apply to people who aren't under that veil.
So let's start with a couple of things you said which are fundamentally untrue. Most men are religious, in fact. including in this country. Most of them, not some of them.
But they're not religious.
Hang on. I didn't
hold on for a
interrupt.
second.
I didn't
Right.
interrupt.
I understand,
I
but let me just take that point. Most aren't under your religion.
Okay.
So yo, I gotta interject for one moment. He keeps on harping on this religion thing, right? But let's just be real, y'all. Most black people that I bump into, if I ask them what their religion is, right? Unless they're like a feminist or something like that, they're probably gonna say Christian, right? You can even go to Jewish people and ask them what they are, right? The question is, are they practicing their religion strictly? If you're Jewish, but then you're still eating, certain seafoods, right? Look, if you're eating certain seafoods and you're eating food that's not kosher, you're eating McDonald's, you're not eating kosher food, you're not eating kosher food, you didn't pray over the animal before you slaughter it and eat McDonald's, that means you're not really practicing Judaism, right? Just like Christians. A lot of people claim Christianity and they, like, for example, I can even admit that I'm a Christian. We admit that this is a Christian-based channel. But guess what? Do we truly practice the religion? No. Most of us don't. Even if we claim lukewarm Christianity. Most people who are under the banner of Christianity, whether it's Andrew Wilson's cult or not, still do what they want behind the veil. And that's what Coach Rick Adams was bringing it up, bro.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Okay, do we have another comment? I'm surprised we ain't gonna Andrew Wilson haters in the building. J Flow says facts. You can live righteous and still clap cheeks. You can live righteous and still clap cheeks. You can live unrighteous, not clap cheeks, and still be evil. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like, the thing is that what Andrew Wilson trying to say was, he's trying to take a moral ground, trying to hide it behind religion. Mind you, the man, I think, was married to a black woman and got a white woman pregnant behind her back, and then try to take the kid that they shared with a black woman. He tried to take the parental rights from the mother, and try to keep the kid for himself, bro. Like, does that sound like a Christian? Does that sound like a Christian to me, bro?
This is a sick Negro.
Does that sound like a devoted Christian to you?
I can't believe you did this. I'm appalled. You ain't Paul. You a nigga that steals.
I guess you realize, it's okay to have a child with a black woman, but when it comes time to divorce that black woman, I guess he felt that his superiority, that he should just take the kid. Really crazy. J Flow said dude had an out of wedlock side kid. Yeah, dude. Essentially, his wife that he has now was a side piece to his black wife. And then, mind you, his wife ain't no angel either, because her first baby daddy, I don't know if that was her husband or not, but her first baby daddy, he got cheated on by the second baby daddy. And it appears that she cheated on her second baby daddy with Andrew Wilson. You can't make this shit up. And yes, that is some repugnant ass shit, bro.
Nasty bitch.
More high ground and like you know what I'm saying? Like you holier than thou, and you up here with a 3-time baby mama after you done got a woman pregnant out of wedlock behind your wife.
You sales out. It's all bullshit. All of it.
Get the fuck out of here. Let's continue.
And agree with that.
So here's the thing, though. But Catholicism and Orthodoxy is growing rapidly. And if it's the case that the ecclesiastical structure is already there, which it is, right? If you're going to cohabitate with a woman, the thing that you're offering right now is common law marriage anyway, if there's cohabitation at all. You're not protecting anybody from that. At least under my model, it gives an ecclesiastical structure that's designed to prevent divorce by applying community pressure. That was the way it was always done. Apply the application of community pressure within the confines of the woman's social circle. Right now, do you agree with me, for instance, that many divorces happen because women like to yap? So you get a freshly divorced woman, and she's free. You go, girl. Girl power. And she starts talking to her little friends, and she starts telling them how liberating it is and how great it is and this and that. And this is why when women have divorced friends, their likelihood of divorce actually rapidly increases. It's for this reason.
Divorce is contagious.
So if it's the case that this social contagion is eliminated because now we have an ecclesiastical structure, an ecclesiastical authority, which won't grant it because you get ostracized from that social group through excommunication, for instance, or not being able to participate anymore with that community, that's an application of a serious and significant social pressure, which can do the very thing you want. Bring back that great institution, absent the state, and it avoids this whole problem of common law marriage. Because if it's the case that you can be common law married anyway inside of a state, and they can get grounds for divorce on that anyway, then we actually need to have some social pressures to prevent them from doing that. So it sounds like we agree marriage is awesome for men. Divorce is terrible for them. So it seems like we should be attacking the divorce structure here, and it doesn't seem like you actually have anything to do that other than just avoid the thing that's great for you, because this other bad side effect could happen.
Sure, that's like smoking cigarettes.
So why don't we attack the bad side effect when we have the mechanism to do it? It's not if, we can do it now.
Okay, so like smoking cigarettes is the same analogy you're saying. Okay, here, cigarettes in this situation, we obviously know it has negative side effects, so you would avoid it. Now, here's the issue that I have with it. It sounds great on paper, but we can't travel to the land of make-believe. It sounds great. The majority of people probably wouldn't do it. And if you ask a guy, which this is an important part, they're not even prepared to even talk about that. They don't even know what divorce laws are. So you're asking them to travel to the land of make-believe under a marriage system that small percentage of people use. No one uses it today. You might have said they used it to the past. Today, that doesn't exist. So we can't travel to the land of make-believe to make marriage work for you. It might work in your marriage, but it doesn't work for the greater structure.
Your argument here contradicts itself, because on the one hand, you say men don't know enough about marriage, but my assumption is that your mission is to let men know about marriage?
Absolutely.
Okay, well then, I don't understand how it's the land of make-believe if you can let them know about this, but I can't?
Sure.
Right, so,
you can offer that.
So if I am, it sounds like I'm offering a real alternative to what you're offering, and here's what you're offering. Men, marriage is great. It's a great institution. It's the best for children. These are your words. In marriage, right, men seem to thrive. Their health seems to thrive. Everything seems to thrive. You're saying, well, the problem is that divorce rates are high, and they are. However, there's a few things there that you haven't covered. One, it depends on demographic too. For instance, if you're black, it's going to be way worse than if you're white.
Correct.
Okay, way worse. And also, socioeconomics matters, right? Demographics in general matter. So you can do a lot, actually, including prenuptial agreements. You can have a prenuptial agreement with the ecclesiastical authority without the state even involved, and it seems like that would mitigate your risk to damn near nothing.
You said if about 50 times
So did
today.
you.
Now, here's what I'm telling you.
So
I'm
did
telling you
you.
when, all right? We're already in this system. You're going outside of the system to create a scenario for me to argue
What
against.
system are you going outside of?
We're talking about marriage is typically done with the state. Almost everyone does it this way.
Typically
so now
is
you're
not-
here's hold on
is
for a
not
second. Hold on for a
must.
second. You've
Typically
moved the
doesn't mean
goalpost.
anything.
You've moved the goalpost to a scenario of if. And you're arguing from the if. No, hold on for a second. You're arguing from the if perspective.
It is perspective.
No, listen.
It is.
Give me a
it's
chance to
perspective.
listen.
All right,
Give
I'll
me a
give you
chance.
Go ahead.
You're arguing from a very small percentage point. Now you're saying demographics, and we can talk about that, but you're still trying to get me to argue in your cloud of if. That's the land of make-believe. Most people, by far, are married to the state. Not only that, your land of make-believe still exists, the prenup with the ecclesiastics. You can write whatever you want in that prenup. It only matters in the divorce. That's the reality. So I'm still dealing in reality. You're in the clouds. Hold on for a second. You're in the clouds. So let's take the demographics.
Okay.
In your scenario, it sounds like, which would be fair, your primary concern is with white people.
No, it's with
Hold
all
on for a
people.
second. You said with black people, the demographics, the chance is higher.
Yeah.
So have you discovered the ecclesiastics approach to black people married within this?
Yes.
However, their demographics, economics, which all do affect marriage, has nothing to do in the land of the clouds or the make-believe with ecclesiastics. It's all going to boil down to in the law. And there's no church reverend that's going to go into your household to make sure there's social pressure on your wife. Do you know
yes,
any?
sir. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you know any that can cover all marriages? That
Yes.
answer is no.
Yes. By the way, when you keep
Are we in reality here?
I'm
or are we in
trying-
the clouds?
when
I mean,
you're-
we're
when
not
you're-
arguing
I was
anything
just trying.
legitimate.
So, okay, let's paint the picture real quick. So this is get it straight. He's going to have a reverend or a preacher goes to the houses. Every chick, every wife who doesn't give no punani to their man. Really?
Congratulations, you played yourself.
And this is why women were in droves to go get divorced in the 70s. J Flo says the marriage bill is on the feet.
My nigga.
Got 8444 says Coach cooking his ass. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's not even using fish grease. He's not even using grease. Straight on the grill. Straight fire, boy. Straight fire.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Knock, knock. Time to have sex.
This is a sick Negro.
This is an Atlanta make believe.
Well, when I'm allowed to respond, let me
okay,
know.
give me a second. Let me finish this point.
Go ahead.
You're imagining. Your imagination is great. John Lennon would be great. You know, you would be proud of you at this particular point.
But I'm imagining all the people.
You're imagining all the people under a situation and a structure that you brought in here. All right. But the state highly governs this, and the state highly governs divorce. I'm dealing in a reality situation where I'm trying to counsel men to give information to. The best thing you've told me is that you're willing to give men the option to do this. Are they willing to all do this option? The answer is probably not, just like they're not willing to do what I'm telling them to do. However, we're both attempting, which is a good thing. It's noble. However, your situation rarely exists. Can we talk about the reality of what exists?
Sure.
Absolutely. So let's take your moral religious crusade out of it and talk about the reality.
Yeah, let's
Are you willing to do that?
Yeah, well, here's the thing.
See, you're not willing to do that
Well,
because it's all based on your reality.
Guess what? It's a debate, and I will argue my points from my view, how I see fit. It's not for you to
But what I'm not going to do is expect to be arguing from the land of make-believe.
Yeah, but it's
okay.
Okay. So, old boy want to ask him. He wants to keep on questioning and interrogating CGA. But then when CGA says, okay, you can ask me these questions, but let's remove it from this ecclesiastical relationship or ecclesiastical atmosphere that you claim that you have that you're going to spread to the whole world through this one podcast. Can we talk about the reality, the fact that most women, saying rather go get some raw dick right now than to get married? That, all women want to get married, but they all want to get married down the line. Can we talk about that for a moment? I live in Florida. I'm in a Republican state. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? Even some of these good old girls, I'm not saying that I'm in the deep south, but these good old girls, they try to get some raw dick first, man. And with that being said, like the reality is that, you will have to cut off, cable is already dead because we got social media. In order for any of this to go through, you would have to literally go back to the 80s where there's no social media. You would have to. And even then, it still wouldn't help because guess what? People were still selling pussy back in the day in the 1950s, since the slavery days. Sky Daddy said Coach just needs to slow down and let his points sink in. Honest critique. Okay. I mean, I don't think it was a dishonest critique, but yeah, I mean, hey, look. When he's dealing with a dude who, is gaslighting and kind of like and talking in circles like a little bitch. I mean, and also, it's like, what are you going to have a perfect discussion? I mean, hey. But here's the thing, though. Maybe he can let his points sink in, but I don't think his points didn't sink in. Or, I just think that old boy, all right, it's like, for example, I'll bring this up. It's kind of like my whole situation with Donovan Sharp. When me and Donovan Sharp was discussing whether Carmelo Anthony should be, go to jail or whatnot or whatever, right? Donovan Sharp was he cared less about having an unbiased discussion and maybe exercising each angle. He was more concerned on proving me wrong. Okay, so when people are proving you are bent on proving you wrong, you can say a point and they're just gonna act like they didn't even hear it. It's called cognitive dissonance. So Coach Greg Adams at this point was like, this dude doesn't really have a discussion or argument. You know, your shit is made based off of make-believe. At this point, I might as well say my points for my viewers, okay? Because guess what? You know, we could critique his debate or whatever all you want, but guess what? Was he still right? You know what I'm saying? Because he was still right. He was still right.
ain't lying.
Now, back to before we go back to that, J Flow says the house of cards. Then J Flow says the wife will always be the unresolved variable. The husband gave up leverage to the state. Exactly. And it doesn't matter whether you go into agnostic and ecclesiastical relationship or marriage or anything like that. You feel me? That's Guy Daddy 4444 says I get that for sure. Where are we at?
All right, so
Okay,
anybody
my
have
turn. My turn.
Anybody
Relax.
have anybody have the sound effect for the television show where the train comes through, Mr. Rogers? Because I want to be on Earth.
Yeah, let me
all right,
let's let Andrew respond.
Yeah, so the thing is it's funny that you imagine.
Let's go back.
A good thing. It's noble. However, your situation rarely exists. Can we talk about the reality of what exists?
Sure.
Absolutely. So let's take your moral religious crusade out of it and talk about the reality.
Yeah,
Are you willing to do that?
Yeah, well, here's the thing.
See, you're not willing to do that
Well,
because it's all based on your reality.
Guess what? It's a debate, and I will argue my points from my view, how I see fit. It's not for you to.
But what I'm not going to do is expect to be arguing from the land of make believe.
Yeah, but it's
okay.
Not,
all right. So
okay,
anybody
my
have
turn? My turn.
Anybody have the
land of make believe.
I really wish I had the video of that, bro. I really wish I had the video of that. J Flow says, Sky Daddy, I think Coach smelled blood and went to sweep the leg. Hey, sweep the leg, sweep the leg. Hey, at this point, I might as well just avalanche you with a bunch of information, man. You feel me? And because, dude, let's be real. You know, yeah, Coach, I guess, could have did a couple things, you know, better or whatever, based on debating to critique. But guess what? Coach Rick Adams was a lot more entertaining than the other dude. The other dude was kind of putting me to sleep. You know, in a classical relationship, and then we change society, and a woman's gonna submit, and we're gonna have a preacher come worship. Like shit, man. Like say a goddamn point. At least Coach is dynamic with the fuck he said. Now, Sky Daddy 444 said, "You're right on that, big dog. Coach is definitely right too." You know, hey, get this. Look, we're here to have an honest. You know, we don't lie over here. We're here to tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, there's a lot of things. Here's the thing. It's like, have you ever like? It's like sports, or if you was like to talk to a woman or deal with women. After something always happens, you always kind of think, "Oh man," you're like, it's like that's why I hate dealing with like, you know, punk ass supervisors and stuff at work, because it's easy to kind of critique someone when you're not the one doing it or after the fact. You know what I'm saying? But to actually do it real world or to do it in real time is a lot harder than you think. You know? There's a lot of times where I say something to the girl, I have a situation, and then I think about later, like, man, I should have said this, or I should have said that, or I should have did this, or I should have did that, I should have did that. I mean, in hindsight, you know, I guess they say hindsight. That's why they say hindsight is 20/20, right? J Flo says CGA will do more research next time. Is a learning moment, right? Because guess what? If he knew about the whole 3-time baby mama, he would have fucking bodied him right there, bro. Not that he didn't body him already, but that would have put the nail in the coffin right there. Now, Sky Daddy 4444 says Coach was put some salt on that crack. Yeah.
My nigga.
Anybody have the sound effect for the television show where the train comes through, Mr. Rogers?
Let me know
because I want to be on. I want to be on Earth.
Yeah, let me know
all right,
let's let Andrew respond.
Yeah, so The thing is it's funny that you bring up Imagine All the People of John Lennon, which is an anti-religious song. And hilariously enough, was designed to assist with female empowerment. Isn't that hilarious? But the thing here is you keep on saying that what I'm offering is make-believe, but it's not. It's been governing the Orthodox and Catholic Church for 2,000 years, including in this country. Now, here, let me give you an example, for instance, the Amish, right? Do you know what the divorce rate is among them? It's almost non-existent, yet they're still governed by the same...
Can I ask you a question? Hold up. Wait. Hold up. Wait. Do Amish have access to the internet? Does the Amish have access to the internet? Once again, I'm going to say it again. Does the Amish communities, I'm not talking about people who have Amish descent, does the Amish communities have the internet? I think we all know the answer to that, but soundbite anyway. Man, he's so fucking full of shit, bro. He's so fucking full of shit. The Amish, that was who he used up as an example. How many motherfucking white boys you gonna just sign up to be Amish to have no access to internet and no access to running water? And how many women can he get to sign up for that shit? King Speech Rose says CGA won that. Facts. J Flow says Quaker Oats Maine. For real. King Speech Rose says CGA LOL. Facts. Sky Daddy says he has that lame, corny voice tone. Can't stand it. Do make me sleepy. You know why? Let's just be straight up and down, dog. Andrew Wilson is a motherfucking nerd, bro. Yo, he's a fucking nerd.
You're a victim.
There we go.
Straight up nerd, bro. A gump, a goober, a L7, a square, a loser. He was the type of dude who he finally got the girl that he wanted, except, it was, not in high school, but it was like after high school, after she had 2 other men's babies. That's what dude he was. King Speech Rose says Andrew's still name calling. I fuck with Andrew Wilson, but he was out of the element speaking on Black Manosphere issues. Hey, look, he's just out of line completely, bro. He's even out of line talking about white manosphere issues because he doesn't even understand what's dealing with what white people are dealing with. Do you know one of the reasons why they actually even pushed back the whole Roe versus Wade decision was not because they realized that they made a mistake. It's because the white birth rate is tremendously low as well. I mean, yes, Black people have essentially, especially Black women under, the self-deleting or aborting their kids. Yes. But white people, here's the thing. One thing that white people don't understand. What happens in the hood will happen in the trailer park or wherever you at. It will eventually progress. And that's the reason why they changed the Roe versus Wade is because the white birth rate is so damn low. Then he said this dude brought up some off the grid ass people. He said go to Los Angeles to preach his BS. Ninjas want to go to the pimp seminar. For real. You feel me? And guess what? Here's the thing. Even if you was to get the dudes in line, you got to get the women in line as well.
I want to do it the right way and learn some of the unwritten rules.
That's why I was talking about the seminar, so that we can get players to come down there and bring their grievance, their problem, how to catch a hooker, what you do to be a boss player, what do I say to my wife when I decided that I wanted to be a true player and walk out on the family. We need a seminar so we can teach these guys to give them the right understanding so they'll know, man.
And I don't know why I thought you said Andrew Wilson. What King's speech said is actually American woman is a nuclear bomb towards, American woman is a nuclear bomb towards white feminism, but he ain't got no answers for the ratchet hoes in the community. Facts. Hey, you know what's funny? He married a black woman. You know that? He actually married a black woman. He cheated on his black wife and got the white wife that he's with now pregnant. He said, my bad. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. He said, Andrew walked out on, Tarika. Yeah, her name's Taraka. He walked out on Taraka and got another chick pregnant. His first marriage, yes. He was married to a black woman, yo. And listen to this. Got his current wife pregnant while he was still married to a girl. Divorced her and then tried to take their half-black baby with him. He was like trying to withhold custody from her. So isn't it crazy? I mean, now I don't know. Now don't quote me on this. I don't know if I know that he had a custody issue with the kid where to the point that it appears based on what we're hearing, is that he was trying to withhold the kid from her or trying to basically seek full rights to the kid. So essentially, the same thing that a lot of red pill guys tell us not to do or not to avoid about, American women, right, or modern day women, he essentially was doing to a black woman. So he's actually the feminist. He's the feminist. Now, King's speech says, because now his white wife was a single mom when he married her. Look, a single mom who cheated on both her baby daddies, bro. Taraka, whatever her name is. Chief Rocker. You're Chief Rocker, number one, Chief Rocker.
Laws of the land that you're speaking to. So sounds like if I give a counter, if I say, look, I can give you a way, a methodology in which you can utilize the religious ecclesiastical institution which has existed for 2,000 years and has right now the lowest divorce rates, right this second as we speak, not in make-believe land, not hundreds of years in the future, right this second, as opposed to the system you have of common law divorce, which is sky high and you can't do anything about it. That's what is true. So pointing out what is true is right now you can have a prenup. That is true. What is true is prenups are usually held up in court. That is true. What is true is that you can have a marriage outside of a state because it's a religious institution anyway. You never have to have a license with the state. It's never been necessary. And if you do, the only way that can be done is if it's sacramental. And if it's sacramental, it's governed now by the church. That's going to be the community the women are a part of. And so the thing is like, that sounds like a real viable solution. What's yours? More fucking degeneracy? Go out and play the field, hump a lot of chicks? How's that going to help anybody do anything? That's been the progressive mantra for 100 years. Isn't it wonderful? Your turn.
All right, we're turning back to earth. Now, first things first, when it comes to this, back in reality, there's no God in marriage. So Mr. Sky Daddy, God, religion, that's all great, but there's no God in marriage. At this particular point, when you go through a marriage, if one person decides to not obey the Holy Bible or whatever you're thumping, you have no basis to keep that marriage together. If she decides to leave the church and decides not to listen or excommunicate herself, she's now under the state.
Agree.
Now, when you're getting divorced, which I'm assuming you've been divorced,
well, I mean, that's a hell of an assumption to make.
Have you been divorced?
Well, I mean,
have you been married?
Can you tell me, if you can tell me how that has any merit?
Give me a second, because if you've been through one, you would know that there's no God in the divorce court, in the family court. There's no God in there. No one asked you.
There is the state in there.
There is the state. So that's what we're arguing. Yeah, that's when you get married. So you're telling me if, and I'm telling you, well, this is what's going to happen. Even if you took Sky Daddy into court with you, they would say, you prayed to the judge. The judge is the authority in the court. So the God argument is a nice, interesting argument. And I probably am not going to stay on the conversation very long, because that's your God. That's your Sky Daddy. That's your religion. I have a different religion. So who gives you who gives you the authority to change the understanding, the conversation to your religion? That's your religion.
I'm not changing the conversation.
He's bringing a good point. I mean, because he expects a whole nation of people. Because here's another too. Not all people want to go. Here's the thing. Not many people want to be in an ecclesiastical relationship. There's a lot of white men who want that on the books. It might not be the best thing, but guess what? Having a classical relationship or having a no marriage does not change anything, because guess what? If you're going around calling her wifey and she's calling you hubby, guess what? A judge could still subjectively say that y'all ass is a motherfucking
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Okay, so it only works if it only works if you believe in your Sky Daddy. That's the only way it works, and that's the only way you're going to advise men.
We're talking about mitigating risk.
No. We're talking about, can men get into a marriage today only under your Sky Daddy? That's what we're assuming.
Okay.
Now, can they do it otherwise?
Yeah, you can have secular marriage.
Okay. Go ahead and explain.
Okay, yeah,
Make it work.
I just did.
Make it work.
The argument that you have is that marriage is great. It's a great institution.
We already covered this.
Well, what made it great?
We already covered
What
this.
made it great?
Can we go into why it would make it work for your secular? That's the question I ask you. You're asking me questions back. Go ahead and answer the question.
So if you're talking about secular marriage, there's never been any point to it.
I'm sorry?
There's never been any point to secular marriage, ever. Never. What would ever be the point of secular marriage? It's always been a religious institution. That's what made it great. Now,
see, here's another too. Andrew Wilson and any Andrew Wilson followers. I really don't appreciate how he's being really condescending and kind of like being like smart and aleck. That's the old typical, Anglo-Saxon, look here, guy. That's the type of thing that he's doing. Like, shaking his head like a little bitch and stuff like that. But the truth is that this is be real. Yes, it is known that people get married in the chapel or church, but guess what? A lot of non-believers get married in the church all the time. Just like I brought up about how non-believers go to the church, or non-believers could claim that they're Christian, but they're not really Christian. Because guess what? If it really was Christian, his point is mute, because if everyone was truly Christian, or at least based off of Christian principles, they wouldn't get married. They wouldn't get divorced. You see how the religion shit doesn't mean any fucking thing?
Congratulations, you played yourself.
when you say it's a great institution, what made it great for secularists, other than the fact that Sky Daddy and God had all these enforcement arms, and those things had to be enforced socially? Like, for instance, men weren't allowed to run away. And women, right, they had to show cause for these divorces. And they had to be good causes. They had to show it for things like infidelity, right? It's all biblically governed. It was all lawfully governed by this Sky Daddy guy you like so little. But that's what made the institution great in the first place. What you're talking about here, you're making a point that divorce is bad. And yet, I agree, divorce is bad. So what we're really talking about is how do we mitigate the risk for divorce? And we have two different methods here.
Well, the conversation is marriage good for men. That's the conversation.
But it is. We already said it's good for men. That's not even a dispute.
And now, how do we make it better since they're avoiding it? Since men or women are avoiding it.
It sounds like the thing that you think makes it bad is divorce, not marriage.
Correct.
Then we need to mitigate divorce.
Yo, and I'm going to say this. From what is being told, and I'm going to say Jay Flow's point. He says, Ana de Armas called off the wedding to Tom Cruise because he had a 28 prenup. Yo, Jay Flow, sound like Tom Cruise did the right thing.
My nigga.
Move to Tom Cruise. Now, hey, remember, Tom Cruise is a Scientologist. He's all about the math. At J Flow, he says he's not living the marriage. He's selling, facts, failed argument, facts. He doesn't even have an ethical relationship. He doesn't even have a holy by thou relationship. Shit is fucking insane, bro. He's a fucking fraud, bro. A fraud, Ninja. Fraud. Well, let's continue.
15 minutes in, and we are in the land of reality. You finally called up. Can you tell me how we can get to the secular marriage? I mean, I've given you a chance. So you're dragging your feet.
So again, there's never been any point to secular marriage ever.
Now listen, marriage is for child creation. It would be great for child community and all of these things. And now listen, by the time the religious aspects got into marriage, they were chopping people's heads off and burning Bibles. So listen, I know we want to take it back to the past and act like the past was better, but there's always a negative part of the past. If you go back and you look at the English, this has all been there. People were getting their heads chopped off. The Crusaders were doing their things across countries, and they were spreading Christianity through threats and violence. Now, that's what you're trying to uplift. That's what you're trying to uphold.
I don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
You wouldn't know what I'm talking about. That's where you're lacking.
I have no
idea.
idea.
Catch up. You're sitting in the
What
cross
does
of me.
Crusades have to do with divorce?
That was when your holy marriage was the best marriage that you're trying to go to. Now listen.
In the 1950s? Were we crusading in the 1950s?
No.
What the hell are you talking about?
You talked about the institution of marriage for 2,000 years.
Yeah.
Sir, do you need me to catch you up on what you're talking about? You're having trouble keeping up with me. You're having trouble keeping up with me. You said 2,000 years ago. And I told you 2,000 years ago, they were chopping people's heads off.
Which has what to do with anything?
I need you to catch up with me, sir.
Okay.
If you want to take things back to the past, you have to accept everything as the past. You can't just cherry pick. Now, here's the thing. You're cherry picking. If you want to take things back to tradition, take it all the way back. Why stop at the 50s? Take it back to the 1890s.
What you're saying right now is so incoherent. I actually don't even understand.
Well,
it.
that's what. Listen, when you're
It's
when you're running out of bullets,
incoherent.
when you're running out of bullets,
Oh, it's
the
just
last thing you do
incoherent.
is the shame. All right,
I'm not
listen,
even trying to
are
shame you. It's
struggling?
just incoherent.
I need you to catch up with me.
Okay, catch me up.
Just say you're lacking if you can't keep it up.
It's
all right, now here's the
incoherent.
problem.
It's incoherent.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem.
I don't know what to tell you.
Here's the problem you're having.
2,000 years ago, they were chopping heads off. Who gives a shit?
Listen,
What does that
you
have to do with
said
anything?
2,000 years ago. I'm coming up with yours. You're wholly religious. 2,000 years ago, it's been a part of
What
the
does that
institution.
have to do with this?
Exactly. Here's the problem. You're cherry picking.
Cherry picking what?
Listen,
I'm listening.
I'm gonna slow you down. I'm gonna
Slow
slow
me
you
way
down
down.
because I see what you're doing here. I'm gonna slow you down.
Okay.
Because it's hard for you to keep up.
It is. You're
I
right.
understand. I
am-
understand because you
I
haven't
am
been across. This is your
bedazzled.
toughest debate. Your audience knows this.
Oh, it's rough.
There's no God in marriage.
Okay.
In the United States.
Yeah.
Can we agree to that? When you get to divorce, there's no God in
we
marriage.
can't agree to that.
We need to agree to it because when you go into divorce court, there's no God.
Yeah,
you
but
can't bring in your
I
God
thought-
and your Bible. And at that particular point, none of your ecclesiastics marriage works.
Okay.
Period.
So the thing is, you just said, can we agree that there's no God in marriage? And then
You don't have to agree.
But hang on, calm down. And then you switched over to divorce. There's no God in divorce. But those are two different questions and proposition. Hang on, relax. The second thing is that me saying that what made marriage a great institution is this whole Sky Daddy character. And that the institution has been in place for 2,000 years. And it's been, hang on, calm down. And it's been a strong institution. I'm not actually sure how tying in that at the time they cut people's heads off, what that has to do with the fact that in the 1950s and 40s, you still had 95% of these marriages staying together. This is not ancient history. This is not even early American history. That's hang on. That's in your grandfather's lifetime, basically. And this, by the way, that was the case for black marriages as well. Very strong institutions. But all of those institutions were that way because they followed that whole Sky Daddy thing. They were like, oh, that Sky Daddy's going to smite us if we don't. And so what you do here is you're giving the classic progressive argument, which is,
yo, I gotta stop this. Yo, Andrew Wilson, you can tell that he only probably got probably 2 pieces of ass in his life, bro. For real. He only got 2 pieces of pussy in his life.
He ain't lying.
Because he thinks because it was the 1950s that everybody only had sex within the confines of a relationship, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
This is a sick Negro.
Jay Flo says Andrew is talking prenup, but woman won't even agree to it. Lame strategy, exactly. So look, she's gonna agree to not legally get married and sign a prenup, so she gets nothing out of it. That sounds real traditional.
gotcha. Gotcha. Well, you know, guys, it is true that it's a great institution, and it is true it's the best place in the world to have children for the continuation of the species. And also, it's fantastic for men's health. It's fantastic for their mental health. It's great for them in almost every way. But that divorce thing is real bad, and I counter. You're right. That divorce thing is real bad. We have now a center of agreement. But now we're going back to the marriage in the West thing, which is that whole great institution problem. Well, if we agree that what made it good, which you just did, is, hey, that Sky Daddy guy, and then I point out that right now you can still utilize that Sky Daddy guy for an ecclesiastical marriage outside of the state. Hang on. And the only thing you could do is say, what about common law? But you can't govern anybody from common law. And at least in the ecclesiastical institution, you have social pressures on women to stay married. You can't offer a man anything like that. Give me a single social pressure you can offer that would actually keep these marriages together. One. What?
This motherfucker's an idiot. Yo, well, he doesn't understand. See, here's the thing. You can tell Andrew Wilson didn't get enough. See, here's the thing. Coach Greg Adams, he makes content for men who already get pussy. Coach Greg Adams really makes content for men who already get pussy, who's already used to life, who already touch grass, who want to excel and do better in their lives. You feel me? Now, one thing I could definitely say is, you know, I've been following Coach Greg Adams, and yes, there's a lot of improvements that I need to make in my life. But one thing I know I did for sure was not marry a single mother or add on any dead weight. No cohabitation. You know, it's something I won't eventually. But guess what? When I do it, I do it from the position that, yo, you know what I'm saying? You know, if I ever go bad, I ain't gotta go back living with my mom's, you know what I'm saying, or grandma or some shit, or living on somebody's couch type shit. You feel me? Because guess what? You know, if you depend on a woman, right, and then guess what? Things go bad with that woman, guess what you're doing? You fucking couch surfing. You feel me?
This is a sick Negro.
Now, J-Flo says women will fight for that bag, win or lose. Fight for the bag, fight for the freedom, fight for it all. He's done it too. The reason why I brought up the fact that Coach Greg Adams makes videos or makes content for men who already get pussy, men who are used to women, is because of the fact that, how can I say this? In high school or junior high, right? You essentially kind of knew, whether a chick was kind of into you or not. Also, like, for example, if a girl decides to break up with you, right? You never try to get back with a girl or try to make her stay with you. Why? Because it's what? She's already lit. When a woman breaks up with you, she broke up with you 2 to 3 weeks, a month ago, maybe even longer. Okay? She's already discussed with her homegirls, her family members. Everybody gave her the green light to do what she got to do. So there's no point in trying to convince anyone. So there's no social pressure you can apply to some chick that's going to make her stay with you. All she's going to do is this. When you try to play that social pressure from the Bible and you pick out that Bible, all she's going to do is call the police on your punk ass, bro. That's all she's going to do.
He ain't lying.
J-Flo says, invite me to your wedding, Callie. I can't stop it. No. I ain't getting married. I never said I would never cohabitate with a woman. I said I would never not say that I would cohabitate with a woman because I've done that plenty of times. And I ain't going to say it will never happen again. Marriage, brother, my American brother. You said the marriage, brother? No, American marriage, brother.
Emotional damage.
No American marriage for me, brother. No, brother. No thanks. No thanks. No, brother them day wants no American marriage. No, please. No American marriage for brother them day.
This is a sick Negro.
Let's continue.
Just one.
Can I answer something
Yeah.
you just said? This would be interesting.
I can't
because
wait.
You said
But can you answer that question then?
No, before.
Oh, of
the
course.
1940s.
Of course, you gotta ask me a question.
Because listen,
before you answer mine.
I'm listening to you. You asked the question at the end. If you would have asked it at the beginning, possibly I might have been able to address it. But let me address this point.
Okay.
You said the 1940s and 1950s with this imaginary sky daddy controlling marriages. That sounds like enforcement. Because by the time the 1970s came around, the very first chance women got to file a no-fault divorce without need for evidence, without need to have a private investigator to prove an affair.
Was no fault the 70s?
Yes, it was the 70s, started by Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
I'll educate you.
But hang on.
Came along. Hold on for a second. No. I got the
Go
floor
ahead.
here. I got the floor. So you said the religious institutions governed it and made it great. The 1970s came along, and as soon as they did, women started to file divorces at record rates, which is back to my conversation. As soon as you remove the authority of Sky Daddy, now you're back with the state. And now you have difficulty, and now the risk is now greater.
Oh.
So that's the issue that
Then
you
it
have.
sounds like men should be moving towards Sky Daddy then, because it mitigates their risk.
The court.
This guy, like I said, cognitive dissonance, dude. Coach Greg Adams literally just explains to this guy how when she decides that's no longer religious anymore, so it doesn't matter what the guy can hold on to Jesus Christ, his savior, all he wants. But in court, they do not want you to bring up religion. Do you know that? Do you know that you can even be held in contempt if you keep on bringing it up, unless the religion has to do directly with the case? You cannot, people, even though they have a Bible in the court that you put your hand on, right, to make to swear, to an oath, to not lie on the oath. Guess what? You cannot talk this religious shit in the fucking courthouse, bro, unless it has something to do with their fucking case. Dude, this dude is a fucking idiot.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
The nation should be
There's no
moving towards
courts.
that. But how do you enforce that?
What courts? You're not getting a marriage from the state. What courts are involved here?
Everything you told me is a make-believe scenario.
How? You can do it right now. How is it make believe?
How do you do that when people?
Here's what
marriages
you
do say. I know you want to go back to Ecclesiastics. This
No,
is
I'm
gonna be
telling
a
you, I can do it
problem.
right this second.
Okay,
You can go do it right now.
You can do it at this particular
can't
point.
too.
However,
What do you mean?
Here's the problem.
Okay.
Can you get men to do it?
Yes.
Okay. You might be able to think you can get men to do it, but as soon as they do it, I want you to stick around for the average of 8 to 10 years when these men start getting divorced. See, what you're doing is you're leading.
We've been watching it
for
for longer.
You're going to lead men into a burning building.
Oh.
And the reason why, and this is a famous quote by Martin Luther King, is because the laws of integration didn't catch up fast enough for what he wanted for people to integrate. And what happened was it took him 12 to 15 years to realize that he led men or black people into a burning building in which integration was not possible at the time.
Okay.
You are also proposing the same thing. And I would like for you to stick around to see the results of what you're proposing, because eventually you would have to pay the price. How did Martin Luther King pay the price? You would have to pay the price for the men that you misled.
Yo, I do want to bring up this, and I actually like that he brought up that quote, because think about it. These women at any time could change their mind about it. You feel me? They could change their mind about it, especially if you have kids in a situation. And these women could just change their mind. That's the caveat about cohabitation and marriage and having kids. This woman who is down for you, who rock with you, who is reading the Bible with you, could just clearly change her mind.
He ain't lying.
But Martin Luther misled men, and that's why he was killed?
I said he misled black people. You missed that part.
Those
He said,
are
okay,
right.
let me repeat it, because
Yeah.
you're slow.
I
All right,
am,
you
you're
definitely
right.
are slow in Neanderthal.
That's for sure.
Let me tell you something.
I'm dragging
Martin
knuckles
Luther
over
King
here.
said specifically, related to black people in civil rights, I'll speak slowly for you, that he believed at the end, he led them into a burning building. I'm going to speak slower. The reason why is because the laws of integration did not catch up with what he would like to present. Black people weren't ready to integrate. As a result, he said, I may have led my people, that means his people, into a burning building.
Okay.
I would like for you, under your scenario, if your movement takes off, to see the results, because it took Martin Luther King 12, 15 years to see the results of his efforts. You're proposing something very extreme that majority of people aren't going to do. But let's just say because you like to hide in the clouds of make-believe, if this works, I would love to see you represent these men in a divorce when they get their head bit off by these so-called women that are forced by Sky Daddy to stay in these marriages.
Is it really?
Oops.
My nigga.
Okay, guess what? Yo. Not one time. And y'all can tell me this right now. Name one time where the pastor, the reverend, the deacon, or the father came into court to represent a husband in divorce court.
Got to know exactly who you are. Lord have mercy. We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused.
This motherfucker is goofy, bruh. So what I do want to do is move up to some other parts where he started talking about old boy's wife, because homeboy brought. Okay, for anyone who hasn't seen it, y'all can see it on Coach Greg Adams' channel. But I do want to rewind to, I'll say, the last 20 minutes of the video, because I want you to hear what he had to say. And a lot of people were trying to say that CJ shouldn't have did this and he shouldn't have took shots at his wife, but the dude brought up his wife into the whole conversation because he brought up how, his wife got more book sales than he does. And Coach Greg Adams asked him, how many book sales do you have? And at that point, since he brought his wife into the situation, he said, your wife probably got a higher body count than you. And I was like,
emotional damage.
You're being sugar babies. They're going to OnlyFans.
Same
Some of
problem
them
with
are
oversaturation,
Yeah,
though.
exactly. And so it'll get oversaturated. Now you kick the can down the road to what the next thing is. I don't see the women seeing that college is prohibited to them, jumping into traditional marriages. I don't see that trend.
But that was the same argument which made in the 90s to men, that they would not, that the trades are going by the wayside and they all needed to get a college degree, when in fact the opposite ended up happening. Now they're all moving towards trades in lieu of the college degree because of oversaturation. Right. There's no reason for us to believe that if it's the case that women have the option and the propaganda behind it for them to get married at a younger age, right? Defer that with incentives. We can give all sorts of incentives for this.
Would you give for this?
Man, you first of all, you can give tax exemptions, for instance. You could say
these women don't pay taxes even when they make millions.
Yeah, but the thing that's
they don't catch up to them, but they don't pay the taxes.
Well, they do have to pay property tax on the houses they get from their husbands when they divorce them. So
if they get married, then they
the thing is what you could do is in Poland did this, and they had a pretty good degree of success, up almost 0.5%, moving and trending towards almost 1%, which is huge in such a short amount of time. They gave tax exemption, almost
big major swing at. They're not happening. All right, it's not happening.
Do you know that the
they're
people
not
versus
us? Well, I don't know how many you are. We still haven't determined.
But the thing is funny.
This still happens. So a lot of men get caught off guard because they see her thumping the Bible. Oh, she's one of us. And these women have figured out how to cosplay.
And again, I think this is a good question, right? No.
He touches on a one good point. And the point that he's touching on is the fact that these women that he's claiming that you're gonna find who can be down for this. And the only chick who's probably gonna be down for a classical or a relationship without a state contract are low-hanging fruit women. I repeat, the only woman who's gonna go for a relationship without a contract are low-hanging fruit. Male order brides are not coming back. J Flo says, I wake up every day knowing my wife can walk smooth off and take half my itch, and I can take half of her pension. Still made. Yes, sir.
My nigga.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I love that.
Outlaw OnlyFans.
I mean, every one of your scenarios is a big major swing at. They're not happening. All right, it's not happening.
Do you know that
they're not outlawing
Larry,
anything?
the people versus Larry Flint was not long ago when the normalization of the porn used to be outlawed. Okay, it used to be outlawed all over the United States, and guess what? The effects that it had on the psychology of men and the effects it had on marriage were negligible. You could still get it to some degree underground,
right?
But it was tough and it was illegal. Why do you think?
And people still went to the.
Why do you
they
think
went to that? I don't know if you remember this if you're old enough. They still went to that VHS area or the area of the magazine.
That was after Larry Flint.
All right, but that was a result. That was kind of one of the things
that
they
was
said.
after they legalized it. Before they legalized it, those sections didn't exist.
Exactly. So now it's wide open. It's in open.
Yeah. So
now,
we need to eliminate it. Yes.
We didn't eliminate Playboy and Penthouse.
That's after Larry Flint. Larry Flint was Penthouse.
I understand that, but it's still here. I mean,
he won the case.
Correct.
But
so
we're
how are you going to beat OnlyFans?
We're unwinding and have been unwinding. That's what Roe v. Wade was. The idea of Roe v. Wade was
by
to
the time
unwind.
you beat OnlyFans, the damage is done. I'm going to just let you know.
Yeah, you know what?
Right, the damage is pretty much done. That would take 30 or 40 years.
Okay, well, after a war, the damage is done. It might take 30 or 40 years. But you know what? The thing is we don't quit because it might take some time.
I didn't ask you to quit. What I'm asking you is you're trying to solve the problem today of getting traditional.
Both.
Traditional.
Today, tomorrow.
I understand that. Tomorrow will be a better day. But at this point, you're looking at traditional conservative women that have thrown their punanis out. Some of them are single moms.
Well, they're not traditional.
Right. But again, they're not. But this exists. And unfortunately, the traditional conservative movement
and it's full of feminists, I agree.
Yeah, these women come.
Hold up. Wait. Hold up.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Yo, he just said that a single mother is not traditional, yet he married a single mother to 2 baby daddies.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
I mean, that's feminists, liberals, and they cosplay, trick these men into marriages, say that they're going to marry them, not in the secular, and then they follow you, and then they run right back to the court. Now, this does happen quite a bit, even in the Christian church.
Not from us.
Well, I don't know how many you are. We still haven't determined.
But the thing is funny.
This still happens, so a lot of men get caught off guard because they see her thumping the Bible. Oh, she's one of us. And these women have figured out how to cosplay.
And again, I think this is a good question, right? Notice I've answered all of yours. You haven't answered any of mine. But
which
the thing
one
is,
did I answer?
Yeah, can I ask a couple?
Go ahead.
Okay, great. So the progressive mantra is that sexual liberation, this is what feminism was based around, sexual liberation. That was the big one.
Correct.
That their bodies were being controlled, not just from abortion, but from who they chose to have sex with because they were attracted to them, this and that. Marriage was a complete trap for women. It was self-destructive to them, this and that. What is the distinction in your message in that one to men?
What's my message?
Well, it seems to me that your message is that marriage is simply too dangerous and that if you want to sleep with women outside of it, perfectly fine. And it's actually liberating for you because you're moving away from the trappings of marriage itself.
And it wouldn't say
hang on.
Yeah.
That seemed like the same exact message that we got in the 70s from feminists.
If you frame it that way, it would be. But
so you're a
it's just
feminist?
Hold on for a second. It would be two different outcomes. You're protecting wealth, access to children. You're actually being able to control who has your children.
That's what they wanted.
Exactly. Well, no, they want to be able to kill their children and abort them.
They wanted to be able to determine what happened with their
We're trying to
children.
figure out where we have the control legally. They're having the control over their body. These are two different.
But
these are two different outcomes.
So what's the
legal
delineating
outcome
factor
is what the men are trying to figure
from
out.
a 1970s feminist to your messaging right now? What is the difference?
They're trying to control their bodies.
So are you.
I'm trying to control legally. Financially, these are two different things.
Those are your body.
Outcomes.
You're controlling your
bodies.
bodies.
Don't just make it a body.
It's the same thing.
It's financial. These aren't my
That's
body.
the same
All
arguments they made. It's
listen,
financial.
No, you're trying to make it the same. I
It
know
is
you're trying
the
to
same.
No, you're trying to cram that in. Oh, finances is your body. I'm trying to control the legal outcomes.
So were
related
they.
to that.
So here's the thing. He's trying to label him a feminist. It's kind of stupid. What he's trying to say is, because feminists wanted to be, they wanted to be free of men so they could do whatever they wanted to do. It was because these women want to do, it's just true. These women want to do what they want to do with their bodies. Because guess what? Even if a woman wants to get an abortion, that's not even her body. That's actually a baby's body. But guess what? She still gets domain over that. And that's kind of why Roe versus Wade, was overturned. I'm not saying that that's the main intent why it was overturned, but, from an argumentative standpoint, that's not her body. That's, there's a new body in there now. Now, J Flo says this dude was cheating on Tarika talking about virtue. Exactly. At Miami, man. Oh, what's up, G? Thanks for tuning in. He said CJ smoked this food. Shout out to the coach gang. Yes, sir.
My nigga.
Related to finances, not related to me being liberated and sleep with who I want to. The first goal was to control what happens to me financially. It was never the goal for men to avoid marriage, to sleep around. That's the feminist goal. Those are two different things.
They make the same claim. They make the same claim. Their claim
never
is
was financially.
We're not telling women that they need to go sleep
Those
around.
are two different
We're not
things.
telling women they need to go sleep around. We're just telling them they can if they want to. Isn't that the same as your message?
If they want to. Some men don't sleep around.
Yeah.
Some men don't sleep around.
It's just
not
feminism
the
for
same
men,
thing.
dude.
No, that's what you want to call
And
it.
there's no
And that's
prescriptions. It's just feminism for men.
How's that not a prescription? I get to control who I'm with. I get to control where the law is.
Said the
And I, hold on
feminist.
for a second. And I get to control where my finances are, not the state.
Said the feminist.
No,
The
no, no,
same
no.
things
That's
you were
not.
fighting
No, no, no.
for.
That's not. It's not.
He's so stupid. That's what they're fighting for. This dude is just all over the place. All over the place, bruh. Clearly lost the discussion. Clearly lost the discussion. Clearly.
We don't have a bank account. We can't decide what to vote. We can't decide what to do with our children. We're men's property. It's the same shit.
That's a secondary issue.
Oh,
that is
man.
a secondary issue.
the same
You try to
issue.
compare it. You try to compare it and then say finances is body. I mean, come on.
That's
man.
what
I mean,
they were fighting. They
you're
were
really
fighting for the
trying
same
to
thing.
cram this.
They were
in
like, we
to
want
fit
credit
your
cards.
narrative.
We want to be able to control our
That's
bank
nice.
accounts.
That's
We want to be
very
able to
much
control
a
our
secondary,
finance.
tertiary issue. We're talking about what you framed
It's
it
the
as.
primary issue.
The primary issue for me is finances. It's not to sleep around. All right,
Yeah.
that would be two different things.
But
I'm
if
not
it's-
maintaining my independence and staying single
But if
so
it's
I
the
can sleep
case-
around. That's not the primary
Yeah,
issue.
I understand,
It is for
but if
finances. So
it's-
those are two different
No,
arguments.
they're not.
Do you
I'll
want to make it
explain-
the same for
let-
you? Go ahead.
Let me give the explanation.
Please.
If every single argument you make, even if you say these ones over here are tangential, but I agree with them, is the same exact argument of the 1970s bra-burning feminists, whether or not
That's what you believe.
Whether or not it's the primary goal.
Make it
Hang
work for
hang
you.
on, man.
Make it work for you.
Even if it's the case, it's not the primary goal, it's a secondary goal, they're still the same
You
goals.
framed
Hang
it
on,
as the
man.
number
Let
one
me
goal.
at least make the argument
Please
before
do.
you respond.
Reach on in there, man.
So the thing is,
dig deep.
is if you say, hey, man,
dig deep.
This is about financing. It's like, okay, well, the 1970s feminists, that we can't have credit cards, we can't control our bank accounts, we can't control our own financial independence from men. That's what they're fighting for. You want the same thing, independence from women to control your own finances. Say,
You were
hang
talking
on,
about
hang on,
promiscuity.
dude. Almost done with the argument, then you can rebut it. Next thing is, when you're talking about promiscuity, sure, sleep with whoever you want, right? It's under your purview because you can do whatever you want with your body. Same exact argument that they were making. They're not the property of men, right? They should have complete sexual liberation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All of these are the same degenerate structured systems, which led us to where we are currently right this second, except you're just providing them for men instead of women. It's like, can't we at least at some level look at this and say, look, just because these crazy women are doing these insane things, we can actually, as men, do something about this prescriptively without adding the degeneracy. Can't we do that?
Okay, let's go back.
Okay.
There's a such thing as, you might take a medication to solve one issue and you get side effects. You're telling me the side effects equals what the men wanted as to solve the problem to heal. That's the reason they took the medication. Now you're telling me about all these side effects. The side effect of feminism being able to control their body is to also have finances, blah, blah, blah. Same thing with the men. The men didn't intentionally go in there to say, this is for our bodies. We went in there to say this is to control our finances. Then as a result of that, there could be some other things that happen as a result.
Yeah, but if the results are the same as feminism,
it's not the same.
What's the
difference?
difference in
the
results?
outcome, because at that particular point, the man has controlled his finances. He's outside of the state system.
That's what the feminists argued for themselves.
That's a complete.
This guy, Andrew Wilson, is an idiot. Because women, especially third wave feminism. Third wave feminism was fighting for the right of having their own credit cards and financial freedom, as well as having access to more higher paying jobs. Men are not asking for higher paying jobs. They're not asking for handouts. All we're asking is to keep what we could keep, just like any other average American. Because remember, this is America, remember? J Flo says Andrew has an older wife with a career talking about traditionalism. Exactly. Then he also says degeneracy, having a kid with a whole side chick. Exactly. To a black woman, then you decide you're going to go to a white woman. Interesting.
Different reason. You can have
Who cares? It's the same fucking outcome.
You can have the same outcome, and it could be for different reasons. All right, you're saying the outcome pretty much says it's a reason. That's not true. You can have two different reasons and have similar outcomes.
So we have the same outcomes for 1970s progressive feminists for men because you intended it to be different.
But you wanted to compare. You just simply wanted to compare it as the same.
It's the same.
It's apples and oranges.
It's apples and oranges because you didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it that way, even though that's the same result.
You framed it that way to fit your narrative. That's your narrative.
It's not my narrative. You just agreed. Listen, that what I said is true.
I didn't agree with anything.
You did. You just said it's the same comparable institution.
This is the outcome. If I choose to do something for different outcomes, it's not the same.
It's just wild.
Just because certain things line up.
It's just
the way you want. And you're cherry picking, by the way, and you're very good at it. You're cherry picking the good things, the bad things, and then you want to reframe traditionalism and call it the traditional church. Well, the traditional church also had the Ku Klux Klan in the 1950s.
No, that was
is that what you want to do? Okay,
Protestant church.
Okay, well, it's the church. And at that particular point, you want to go ahead and cherry pick what's good and what's bad.
By the way, they were Democrats. Those were Democrats.
Exactly, and of course, they were Democrats.
And
certainly
not Republicans.
Okay, well, now where are we at? There's going to be Democrats in your church? No Democrats.
Not usually.
So
there are some, of course.
Of course there will be. So there are going to be people that have
the
same
what does the
ideology.
KKK have to do with anything?
You're snapshotting traditional world that literally you can just pinpoint 10 years. And if I go back 10 years before, it was non-existent. You're reaching, you're creating a pie in the sky. And then if I fast forward 15 years later, it don't exist. Now you're trying to bring it back out of the dead like you're Billy Graham. I know that doesn't exist.
What doesn't exist?
It is not the normal traditional church. You're screenshotting things. You're picking out a period of history to say we need to take it back from here. That period was only a small percentage.
I'm trying to give a holistic view, not just of
you're
the
giving
entire,
a religious view, not a holistic view.
Well,
it's very religious.
Look, most of history is full of religion. I'm
and
sorry,
a whole bunch of religious people killing people. But go ahead. Go ahead.
That accounts
Keep
for,
it going.
That accounts
all right, a lot of people killing each other. A lot of divorce and a lot of fornication.
About 4 to 6% of all wars were religiously based.
How much?
4 to 6%. You can look it up.
All right, I don't care. That doesn't matter. They kill each other at massive rates. All right, listen. Religion is not the
4 to 6%.
You guys, you're trying
degeneracy and feminism for men.
I didn't say it was. You didn't have to live degeneracy if you're not religious. That's your world. Again, you always make it fit what you want.
Because it does fit. It is the truth. That's what you guys advocate for.
You're only good if you're religious. That's ridiculous. All right, you only make good decisions because you're religious. That's ridiculous. That's what you hope. And that's not the case because a lot of people that are in your church.
Hold on for a second. Why do you say only?
Hold on.
When I talk about outcomes being better,
you just admitted that there are women that are feminists in your church. Of
course.
Okay, so there's your solution there. You're telling me it's always better.
It is always better.
Snapshot. What you're doing is selling men a fantasy of them.
And you're selling them feminism.
I'm not. Well, we can agree to disagree on that.
But
you're selling them a fantasy.
Just selling them feminism.
And you're selling them a fantasy. All right,
a fantasy that I have data to support.
Most people will be dead by the time you get even 1 inch closer to whatever you're proposing.
Well,
most men will be dead as a doorknob.
Under your proposal, you have assured that black men will be dead. You said so yourself. There's no fixing it. They will be. That's your prescription.
Well, that's the prescription that you heard. What I told black men is to leave that community. The community is not to
Are
be
they
saved.
doomed or not? Like you said,
The black men leave the community, they thrive.
yeah, I know. Are they?
Yes.
Are black men doomed? Like you said
The
earlier,
black
or
men
not?
that leave the community, they thrive.
Yeah, I know.
They
But
do
are,
very well.
are black men doomed? Like you said earlier, or
Under
not?
the matriarchy of the black community, yes.
Okay.
Under the scenario that I'm proposing for black men, absolutely not. They thrive.
But that's in the future. What
But
about
that's-
right now?
So that's,
What about
no,
right
no,
this
they're thriving right now under your degeneracy model. All right, they're
No,
thriving
no,
right now
no.
under the degeneracy.
Who?
Oh, yes, they.
Who?
You're looking at one right
You're-
now.
you're- what-
You're looking at
so wait a
one.
second.
So that's who.
So let me get
You're
this
looking
right.
at the notorious one right now.
Here's
That's
what-
who.
so-
You want an example?
so men-
Give me your numbers.
Yeah, so men-
You didn't give me your numbers.
men
The
are-
whole damn stream. But
Of
you're
what?
telling me
I gave you
who?
tons.
No, give me your numbers of your ecclesiastic marriage where your pastor on the Little House on the Prairie is going to prevent
Yeah,
them
we
from
would have
getting
to
legal.
move.
Give me them numbers.
Yeah, again.
Okay, you're asking me for
How
mine.
many
I
times
gave
do
you
I have
one.
to explain this?
Come on, man.
So again, when you're talking about just because they don't have polling data for the United States specifically, we can definitely look at other nations where there's ecclesiastical marriages and the divorce rates. That's one. You can do it right now.
No.
The second is this.
You keep
even
changing
if
that.
I
That's moving
grant,
the goalpost.
even if I grant that just because polling data for that specific thing doesn't exist right this second, the polling data for people who are engaged in state marriage is still lower. That makes my
that's
argument
great.
much more compelling
That's
than
great.
yours.
That's all fine and dandy. You're comparing 125 people to millions of people.
No, these
All
are
right,
millions
what
of
number-
people
What
in
number?
the state.
What's the number
Of
people
what?
that participate?
Of what? Which thing?
I keep asking you this. You never give me. The
I've
number.
already
I
told you 50 times there's no polling data.
Exactly. You don't have a number.
But I do have numbers
It's a pie in
of
the sky. It's
people-
a fantasy.
Dude.
You've been selling people a fantasy.
Do you realize that
I love it though. You know,
makes,
listen.
You make my point stronger, not worse.
A fantasy?
If it's the case that people are engaged in state marriage right this second and are part of traditional churches and their divorce rate is lower, it
That's
has
fine.
to logically follow that if they were not engaged in state marriage, the divorce rate would be even lower.
You're talking about getting hit over the head 30% to 50%. Okay, that's great.
It's
I'll
huge.
give you that.
That's huge.
I'll give you that. That's the difference between 150,000 people. Yet you're telling me you have a better solution
No,
to
it's more than
mitigate that.
150,000.
Hold on. You're giving me a mitigating better than that 30%.
That's way more
what
than
I'm saying.
150,000, dude.
Where's that solution for the better than the 30%? I've been asking for it. You can't tell me how many people that you got under these
Yeah, but
notorious
there's no
contracts that don't
I
have
can
the state.
logically demonstrate it for you. There's no
I
polling
need you to
data
get
for
that
it. So
number.
what?
Get that number. That would be a great
When I
so
asked
you can
you-
tell the audience. Hold
Yes.
on for a second.
I'll
You
tell
can
them.
tell the audience
Okay.
how many people that you're going to prevent from busting out this ecclesiastic contract with your Little House on the
It's not a
Prairie,
contract.
whatever it is that you're doing. If you could tell your men how many people you have doing it and you prevented them from getting divorced and losing their kids under custody, please tell us.
Yeah. So
Otherwise, it's a fantasy.
oh, let's respond again. Do you have the polling data for how many of the black men you've personally helped?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's see it.
Hundreds of thousands
Let's
right
see
now.
it.
Hundreds
Let's
of
see the polling
thousands.
data.
Hey, everybody in the chat.
Where's the polling
Press
data?
one. We're going to do it right now live.
That's
We're gonna do it live.
scientific
Everybody
polling-
press one.
that's
If
polling
you're
data?
a Coach Greg Adams.
That's
disciple,
polling
if you-
data.
If you follow me for the last
You don't
8
have
years,
hundreds of thousands of
press
people in your
one.
chat, dude. Give me a break.
Press one if you can see it. Look. You see that?
Yeah. Where's your
you don't want to
polling
look.
data?
You don't want to look. Look at this.
Where's the polling data?
Coach gang represent.
Do you have
You see it
scientific
right here?
polling data?
That's more than your ecclesiastic contracts. I can
great.
guarantee you that.
Okay. Everyone in the Crucible chat who Andrew Wilson has helped put one in the chat. That's scientific polling data,
Go
says
ahead,
Coach
go ahead.
whoever.
I
it
don't.
is.
You don't want to hear it. I thought you was gonna let it happen. Now all of a sudden you don't like the numbers. Come on, Andrew, man.
That's not
I thought we
polling
were better-
data.
I thought we were better.
That's
than
not
this.
polling data, doofus.
Okay.
What are you
Pull-
talking about?
You gonna call
That's
me a
not
doofus?
polling
Hey,
data.
were you gonna call me a doofus?
Yes, that's doofus shit.
Yo, man, that's crazy because I asked you for a number, and I'm the doofus. You can't even give me a number.
I gave
under
you
your
heart,
data.
dude.
Wait, where's your army at? What's
Yeah,
the name
pull
of
the
your
chat
group?
up.
What's the name of your group?
The Crucible chat.
The Crucible Army. Go ahead and pull them up and tell them how many of them are under your
Hang on.
ecclesiastic contract.
And let's make sure we got this straight. How many people are in his live chat right now?
He's got 2,060.
And see how many people are in mine.
Let's go pull it up. They should beat me in your ecclesiastic contract. They should floor us in the ecclesiastic contract.
Oh,
4,300?
That's like not even double.
Just one.
All right, we're both doing well.
Just one, please.
All right,
Just one, please.
We're-
and now that means I win.
Where they at?
That's
Where they at?
scientific polling
Oh, there's
data.
crickets over there. Okay.
Just ones.
There
Just
they
one.
go.
All I got to do is
There's the
ones, and that's
Crucible over
scientific
there.
data.
There's a couple of twos in there. I want the ecclesiastic contract marriages.
Oh, no.
That's what
You,
we're
no,
asking
you
for.
said, who have I helped?
Oh, wait a minute.
That's different.
No. No, you ask who, for me,
Yeah.
who's followed my prescription.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not
who has the
polling
ecclesi-
data, dude.
I ask you for the ecclesiastic
God.
contracts, Andrew. This is very simple.
What part of
This
we
is
don't
very-
have the polling data, but I
Because
can
you don't have the
logically
numbers.
demonstrate it? Do you
You
not
don't have the
understand?
numbers. You're selling a fantasy.
We do have the numbers.
You're selling a fantasy.
Oh my God, dude, this is
You're
you're
selling
so
a
low.
fantasy.
Yo, he got his ass, bruh. He got his ass dead to motherfucking rights, bruh.
He ain't lying.
Bruh. Andrew Wilson asked, "How many is there any polling data of how many black people that you saved from dying or whatever, right? Or how many black people have you saved from being, in a bad position, whatever, right?" And we all put one in the chat because guess what? Like I said, I might not have the most money in the world, But one thing is, I ain't married to no single mother. I might fuck a single mother. I might hang out with a single mother, but I'm not married to any single mothers. I'm not, raising anybody else's kids. And guess what? When I'm ready to have kids, I can have them when I'm able to financially not only support them, but be even financially able to support them, even if they're not in my presence, right? So, Coach Greg Adams has definitely changed my life, and he changed, plenty of thousands of men's lives. J Flo says they serve booze and smoke in the crucible. They must. They must be serving a crack. Supreme B says, "Oh, Sky Daddy said Coach was cooking this Mitch." Supreme BC at Sky Daddy, I was about to say this, straight cooking. Miami Man said this guy's a gum, certified gum. At J Flo says Andrew capping for brothers, and he divorced to a sister. Yo, that was surprising.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Gotcha. Gotcha.
J Flo brings up a good point. Says CGA is more of a traditionalist than Andrew. One wife with matching kids. Fact.
You ain't lying.
And it's funny that he's kind of pushing this Anglo-Saxon, Protestant get married stuff, right? When he married a black woman named Tarika. She's a hood chick, bro. No, ain't no white black woman named Taraka who ain't ghetto, bro. Come on now, bro. We know Taraka ghetto. Now, Miami Man said Andrew Wilson is feasting on leftovers.
Emotional damage.
That's probably why he's mad. He's probably mad at Coach Greg Adams be folding up woman who's young enough to be his daughter. These motherfuckers be hating, bro. Yeah, man. This RP shit is really, really crazy. And it's crazy too because I remember Morphine kind of said to me the other day that the red pill does kind of lean towards especially the white manosphere leans towards that conservative, white boy, good old boy club. Anyway, back to the coach.
Here, and I think what you need to do is talking to a fucking wall. And I hope that all those cancer sticks that you've been smoking will help your ass live long enough to see how far you led men astray. I would love that for you to survive, and I would bless you by the name of God in the Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints that you survive all them goddamn smokes you've been out here.
Jesus Christ of Latter-day
all them
Saints.
Smokes you have, so you can come out here and live and see how many
Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. You follow Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints?
Somebody does. More people than that. More people than the Crucible.
The LDS.
More people that you
are not in the LDS church.
Hey, more people than you have under your ecclesiastic contract. I can guarantee you that. All right.
All you have to do is agree to one proposition. Is it the case that you personally think that if there is no state contract, you're not in a state contract, your chances of getting divorced are going to decrease? Is that true or false?
If that's true. Even if you don't get married, correct. Your chances of getting divorced goes to 0.
Oh.
And that's the same thing I said. Don't get married, you don't get divorced. The number one cause of divorce is marriage.
Not marriage.
It sounds like
a state contract.
No, the number one cause of divorce is marriage. Hey, Andrew, let's just say this, man. Listen.
I thought they could divorce you even if you weren't married to him 5 minutes ago.
No, you went through a ceremony. You went through a religious ceremony. So at that point, they can. But if I never went through a ceremony, they can't.
They can sue you for anything by your logic, whether you went through it or not.
Don't move the goalposts. I said you went through a ceremony. I didn't. All right, those are two different things, sir.
Which part is? I don't really. Again, I don't understand. If it's the case that you
he's
say,
scrambling and scraping for shit right now.
If it's the case that you say
he's scrambling and scraping for shit right now.
If you're married by the state,
look at him scrambling.
If you're married by the state, if you're married by the state, your chances of marriage or divorce.
But if you don't get
increase.
married, your chances of divorce is 0.
Yeah. Okay. Wait a second. I'm sorry.
Your chances of if you don't get married,
unless you're cohabitating, right?
Divorce is
Unless
0.
you're cohabitating.
Depends on where you live.
Yeah. So then it's not 0.
Not
so you
in
just lied.
California.
It's not
Not
0.
in California.
So then it's not 0.
What about if you don't cohabitate?
Yeah. Again. So now you're moving the goalposts.
No. Most of the time, if you read my book, and I bet you can't read. Did you write a book? I'm pretty sure you didn't.
No.
I wrote a book.
My wife wrote a book, and I take all her money though.
Good. That tells me the type of man you are. Holy mackerel! You're pimping your wife out now. What's next?
To write
what's
books
next? What's next? If those, how many books that she sold? Now let me get back to this. Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. My prescription My prescription for men
My
is no. Hold on for a second. No.
Not to write a book.
Yeah, well, I guess YouTube's going well if you're living off your wife's books. All right, what's her name so we can give her some shine and sell some books?
Oh, her name is Rachel Wilson, the author of Occult Feminism. I guarantee it sold more copies than yours, sir.
All right, we can look it up. Let's over that now. We can look it up.
No, let's look it
now
up
watch
right
this.
now.
Watch this. All right.
Yo.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
You sell sound. It's all bullshit. All of it.
Go ahead.
I want to look it up right now. Now I just want to know.
Now, at this point, what have you done? You're living off the backs of your wife? Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
Is this traditional marriage?
Yes, absolutely.
Boy, oh boy, men have fallen. I'm going to tell you that.
Absolutely.
Men have fallen. It's a disgrace. All right.
Man.
You're living off of what? Is this traditional marriage, by the way?
Yes.
Your wife is in the traditional marriage and you're living off for finances? God damn. All right, boy.
Woo.
Who are these niggas?
I cried laughing when I read it.
You know what I'm saying? like, we need to stay away from these niggas.
Yes, white boys could be niggas too. Yo, he done got with a black woman and had a half black child. You feel me? Hey, he could be called a nigga just off of GP. I mean, not saying that he's a nigga just because of that, but he obviously, look, white people could be niggas too. Now, yo, it's so crazy that this dude has the audacity to bring up his wife and compare her accolades to his. What a weak motherfucker, bro.
Nasty bitch.
Don't worry. Hey, Coach got something for that ass.
The crucible is falling apart at this particular point, bursting open at the seams.
You got
Gentlemen,
me.
What's your book called?
Free Agent Lifestyle.
You got me, man.
Yeah, I did got you.
I take all. It's true. I take all of her money. It's true.
Well, that's what you said.
I mean, I do.
You said that.
I do.
I mean, I'm not saying something you
all
didn't
of
say.
it, and it's been on guns.
Hey,
Every
traditional
time.
marriage sounds great.
Yo, can we rewind that real quick?
Oh, good. Well, that tells me the type of man you are. Holy mackerel, you pimping your wife out now? What's
To
next?
write- to write
what's
books
next?
that I
What's
profit
next?
from?
If those, how many books that she sold? Now let me get back to this.
I'm pimping
Hold
her
on for
out
a
'cause she
second.
wrote a
Hold on for a
book?
second.
What?
My prescription for men
Is-
is
my
no. Hold on for a second. No.
Let's go back.
Divorce is marriage. Hey, somebody does.
You
More
know,
people than that.
give me a
More
break.
people than the Crucible.
The
More
LDS
people that you.
You are not in the LDS church,
hey,
dude.
More people than you have under your ecclesiastic contract. I can guarantee you that. All right.
All you have to do is agree to one proposition. Is it the case that you personally think
Not
that
today.
if there is no state contract,
Divorce is marriage. Hey, Andrew, this is a divorce is zero.
yeah, absolutely.
Men have fallen. It's a disgrace. All right,
Man.
You're living off of what? Is this traditional marriage, by the way?
Yes.
Your wife is in the traditional marriage and you're living off her finances? God damn. All right, boy. The crucible is falling apart at this particular point, bursting open at the seams.
You got
Gentlemen,
me.
What's your book called?
Free Agent Lifestyle.
You got me, man.
Yeah, I did got you.
I take all. It's true. I take all of her money. It's true.
Well, that's what you said.
I mean, I do.
You said that.
I do.
I mean, I'm not saying something you didn't
all of
say.
it, and it's been on guns.
Did y'all see that?
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Did you see that passive aggressiveness with his? And I spent it on goods. And I spent it on goods.
Traditional marriage, by the way?
Yes.
Your wife is in the traditional marriage and you're living off her finances? God damn. All right, boy. The crucible is falling apart at this particular point, bursting open at the seams.
You got
Gentlemen,
me.
What's your book called?
Free Agent Lifestyle.
You got me, man.
Yeah, I did got you.
I take all. It's true. I take all of her money. It's true.
Well, that's what you said.
I mean, I do.
You said that.
I do.
I mean, I'm not saying something you
all
didn't
of
say.
it, and it's been on guns.
Hey,
Every
traditional
time.
marriage sounds great, guys. Traditional
Yo.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Was that a threat? Was that like an underlying threat? You know what's so funny? What's so funny is that why this thing is just so funny is the fact that this dude act like he the only one who got, you know what I'm saying, who got, you know what I'm saying, who's strapped, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, dude. Especially in his thing. Coach is in Las Vegas in his home state. You don't think that he, you know what I'm saying? He's straight. You feel me? Yo, Coach Gang, Shield members, we straight over here. Yeah, you heard me? We straight over here. We good over here. You know what I'm saying? So there's no point of, talk about how many guns you buy. You know what I'm saying? Shit, who don't have guns? Shit, this is Florida. We got plenty of guns. This is the gun handle state. You feel me? But you was trying to threaten the coach? You trying to threaten the coach? Yo, weak ass ninja? Look, coach don't even give a fuck. Coach don't give a fuck. Because and then like you can have guns all you want, and then like you gotta do something with it, pussy. Rack City, yes sir, in the great US of A, baby. Shit, you know what I'm saying? He thought he's the only one who go buy a firearm. Oh, I'd take all her money and buy guns, and buy guns, and buy guns. Yo. Come with that bullshit.
Okay.
Come with that bullshit, nigga. Yeah.
Does that sound bad? Who would be upset by that? I take all of my wife's money and spend it on guns. He says traditional marriage sounds great.
That's traditional marriage. That falls under traditional marriage.
Sure.
Oh boy.
What's untraditional about it?
That's a great traditional marriage.
It sounds like great traditional marriage to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't find the numbers, honestly.
Oh, that's too bad.
This all happens. Shit happens. But it's a bestseller. Trust me. You should read it.
So it's hers.
Yeah.
It's just sold
But
more.
what have you
It's
done?
just sold more.
But what have you done?
I take her money.
Zero.
Yeah.
Exactly, boy. I mean, you hear this?
Yeah.
This is the traditional patriarchy, masculinity here, in live and in living color. But you can follow him. You can follow me.
I mean, your book is ranked higher on the charts and it has more ratings.
Oops.
Can't find the sales numbers on either.
The sales numbers are what matters.
Oh.
Let's see the numbers.
Oh.
Numbers.
Uh-oh.
Numbers.
Uh-oh.
Numbers.
Oops.
Numbers.
I'm higher ranked. More people have.
Let's see the numbers.
Come on, man. I don't know. I don't keep the data. I don't know what
You
happened.
don't know how many books you've sold?
Millions.
So millions of books. Give me a fucking break with this shit.
How many books you sold?
You haven't
Zero.
sold millions
You
of
sold
books.
zero goddamn books.
Lying and coping, dude.
You listen. I'm higher ranked.
Yeah, you sold millions of
Hey, but
books.
look at the numbers. The numbers don't lie, Mr. Numbers Guy. I got
Okay,
higher
where's
rank.
the numbers?
Higher rank. More people
I want to
have
know how many you
look at
sold.
the- More people have rated the book.
Yeah, and
Free agent lifestyle for life.
And guess what? You can definitely brigade
For
your own Amazon
life.
shit.
You challenge me.
Show me
You're
the
one
numbers.
challenge me,
Where's
sir.
the numbers?
You sold zero goddamn
Numbers
books.
are.
Man, what? You saw the numbers.
No,
You
I
told
didn't.
the numbers.
I asked you for the sales numbers. How many have you
told the
sold?
numbers. Free agent lifestyle for life. Everybody go out by the free agent lifestyle.
Yeah, free
Hold
agent never. He doesn't know how many you sold.
I'm higher ranked, man.
So
You
what?
seen it. I got more people. Look,
That doesn't mean
Shawn,
shit.
Shawn Michaels. Hey, you see that? I'm higher ranked.
I'd imagine with the ranking algorithm, sales does play a factor.
Come on, man. We already know that. But
Yeah.
it is what it is.
What are
But
the numbers?
I don't know my numbers. My probably
I
better
know.
than hers, but I know it's better than yours.
That's true.
Right?
I've never
You
written a
got
book.
zero.
I just take the.
You
I just take the author's
You come
money.
up with obvious solutions to scenarios that
And you have
anybody
none.
can.
You just want
Anybody can come up
feminism.
with. I don't have a solution. Free agent lifestyle solution.
That's not a solution.
It's
Anything.
not. It's
It's just degeneracy.
It's a solution that you don't like.
It's just go fuck dicks.
No, that's what you think. All right, it's a solution that you didn't.
How's it
read
going to
the
help?
book.
How's it going to
How
help
did
with
you do-
abortion? How's it going to help with anything?
Well, that's what de-evolution is for. Read my book,
De-evolution?
De-evolution. Go ahead and pull that up. All right.
How does
Second book,
de-evolution help?
De-evolution. Go ahead and look.
How?
How about you read the book and then come back?
Just
You
tell
didn't
me.
do your research.
How does de-evolution
I
help? with
figured you
abortion?
were a better debater than this.
Can
and
you answer
people
the
are prepared.
question?
No, be more prepared next time because I don't have time.
You
for
can't
this,
answer
man.
any
Listen,
questions.
But I'm going to sell some books.
Just no
Free Agent
questions
Lifestyle
answered?
and de-evolution. The link is in the description box below. All right. I tell you how it works. I don't have to explain it. I wrote a book. Your job is to do the work. All right. And that's what we teach men to do. It's not about degeneracy. We teach men to do the work and not come up with pie in the sky fantasies
feminist?
that don't work.
be
All right.
feminist?
The Captain Obvious.
you know it doesn't work?
Your solutions are very obvious. Control propaganda. All right. Jesus Christ, man. Look, anybody can.
Here's
come
your
with that.
solution. Do whatever you want. Fuck
The free
whoever.
agent lifestyle. Yeah,
Fuck
baby.
whoever. Just fuck whoever. Fine. We're not feminists, those guys, even though we have all feminist propositions.
I bet you your wife's body count's higher than yours.
Yeah, I bet your
I
wife's
bet
body
your
count
wife-
was higher than yours,
No,
too.
no, I'm not married. I'm not married. And your wife, you living off of
Anymore.
her. I bet you her body count higher than yours.
You think so?
I know so.
Oh,
I
okay.
know
Just like you know your
And
numbers?
She's a traditional
Just
conservative.
like you know
I
your
know she
numbers
got
are
ran.
higher?
I know she got ran through more times than the Holland.
So that's
Emotional damage.
That's what we want to do.
Hey, and you know what's so funny? Yo, Andrew Wilson fans. Coach Greg Adams, I think on Wednesday, it was either Wednesday or Thursday, took a moment to expose his wife. His wife is a 3-time baby mama who cheated on both her previous baby daddies. Yo, it's not even about if, It's about when she cheated on his punk ass too, bro.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yo. Andrew Wilson's wife. You know what she be doing? Andrew Wilson's wife. You know what she probably doing right now when he's out of town? You already know what she's doing. Salute to the coach for slowly roasting this ninja. My boy P. Francis says, he says, American woman frustrated. He said, America. Andrew Wilson frustrated because CGA listing his accomplishments as an author, plus the popularity of his book, plus the fact that, you know what I'm saying, he fucking roasted his ass because his philosophies are goofy. They're nerd philosophies. They're not in reality. Yeah, B. Francis says TJ's comment was not a low blow. It was a 5-piece combo. Yes, Lord.
My nigga.
Man support man comes through. So salute to Cali West and everyone in chat. Thank you for tuning in, broski. But I like the body count.
Do your research.
How does de-evolution
I
help?
figured you were a better debater than this.
Can you
and
answer
people
the
are prepared.
question?
No, people are prepared next time because I don't have time.
You
for
can't
this,
answer
man.
any
Listen,
questions.
But I'm going to sell some books.
Just no
Free Agent
questions
Lifestyle
answered?
and De-Evolution. The link is in the description box below. All right. I did my work. I don't have to explain it. I wrote a book. Your job is to do the work. All right. And that's what we teach men to do. It's not about degeneracy. We teach men to do the work and not come up with pie in the sky fantasies that don't work. All right. The Captain Obvious. Your solutions are very obvious. Control propaganda. All right. Jesus Christ, man. Look, anybody can.
Here's your solution. Do whatever you want. Fuck
the
whoever.
Free Agent Lifestyle. Yeah,
fuck
baby.
whoever. Just fuck whoever. It's fine. We're not feminists, little guys, even though we have all feminist propositions.
I bet you your wife's body count's higher than yours.
Yeah, I bet your wife's body count was higher than yours, too.
No, I'm not married. I'm not married. And your wife, you live it off of her. I bet you her body count higher than yours.
You think so?
I know so.
Oh, okay.
I know
Just like you know your
and
numbers?
She's a traditional
Just like
conservative.
you know your numbers are higher?
I know she'd have got ran through more times in the Holland Tunnel.
So that's it? It's just now ad
Now we just
about
ad
my
hominem.
wife.
Is that what we want to do?
That's where you went.
No, you
Did
brought
I say
her
a
up.
word
I didn't bring
about
up your wife.
Did I say a
I didn't
word
bring up your
about
wife.
your wife?
I don't got one.
Yeah, if he did, do you think I would have?
You brought her up.
I brought my. Did I attack her?
I didn't attack her.
You just said she had a high body count. You lying sack of shit. Show me the proof.
I don't have any proof.
Yeah,
She's
you're just
a
making shit up.
traditional conservative.
You
woman.
lost a debate,
listen,
so you went
I didn't
ad
lose a
hom.
debate.
I don't even
You've been
care
losing
at
the debate
this
for a
point.
long time.
Your wife has a high body count.
I bet you she does. That's the number.
What's the proof?
Traditional conservative women have
not-
higher body
she's not a
counts than men.
She's not a fat con, dude.
Ooh, hey. And this is something that I might have touched on earlier. Yo, we all know, especially brothers in the hood, we all know that church is where Reform 304s go. Look, anyone who's been with women or good with women know damn well that the church is where Reform 304s go.
He ain't lying.
And I'm glad that Coach pointed that out.
You don't even know what you're talking about.
How's she not a track con and you married her?
I'm not
She
a track
feminist?
con. You didn't
Well,
do
what
your
are you?
homework.
What are you?
I'm a Christian ethicist.
A Christian ethicist.
Yes.
All right, very good. All right. And
Very
you
good.
still don't know the numbers, how many people follow you.
Follow what?
Follow your prescription, your master solution. No numbers.
I literally have
but you're
given
asking
you
me about
number
numbers
after
and we pulled the
number
numbers.
after number
Oh
of
my
the
goodness.
fact that the traditional
many
churches'
men-
divorces are lower.
We got that, but how many men follow your
We don't know the
prescription?
polling
We
data.
don't know.
We don't need to.
But-
we know that even if they're with the state, it's still lower.
Coach Gang, one in the chat. All right, Coach Gang, one in the chat. You bought the Free Agent Lifestyle, and it helped you. Put one in the chat.
All right. It's been 2 hours. You guys want to call it?
Yep.
All right, guys. Check them out. That was a fun debate. We'll let ChatGPT decide who won this thing. We'll throw in the transcript in there, link it in the video. See you guys next time. And all right.
Yo, I must say, once again, salute to Coach Greg Adams for putting up with this squiggly ass, weak ass nerd. That J Flo says the cheating Christian. For real, for real. Miami Man says bitch ass ninja. Facts. That P. Francis. Oh, a man support man says laughing him my fucking ass off. He's not happy. For real. Man, P. Francis says it must be true about his wife's body count because how stuff he got. Yeah, he struck a nerve for that. He was lying slack as shit. You lies like a shit. Hey, because guess what? The truth is he know his wife is a 3-time baby mama. And guess what? You can tell that he's not very good with women, bro. I'm sorry. He's not. Sorry, not sorry. I don't give a fuck. I ain't sorry about shit. Miami Man says Coach owned him. Tell that ninja to get outside and grab a switch. For real, for real. Go touch some grass, oh bitch ass ninja. For real, for real.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Go touch some grass. Matter of fact, yeah, go touch some grass.
Guys, this is a tutorial on how to touch grass because I know a lot of you don't know what that is or don't know how to do it. So first you want to take off your shoes like this. Yes, barefoot. It's okay to be barefoot outside if you didn't know. But first you want to take your foot and you want to touch it like that. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's how you touch grass. A lot of you guys need to know how to do that.
For real, for real. And J Flo says, Andrew wanted to drop the hard R. Hey, that is a fact, bruh. You know he did.
You don't find that suspicious? 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 You don't find that suspicious?
You're a victim. Here we go, CSI.
Yeah, man. It's pretty obvious who won that. Pretty obvious. But yeah, man. But what's crazy is that this dude's talking about degeneracy. So what? So this dude had a whole child out of wedlock. Okay? And then married another woman who had children by other men. But yet, Coach is teaching degeneracy. I mean, shit. Hey, these hoes gonna get fucked whether Coach fuck them or not. You feel me? And that's something that Coach wasn't even able to expound upon because Homeboy was still trying to be in the land of make believe. My boy Miami Man came through. He put $10 on it. He said Friday night funds. Man, I appreciate you. You know I needed that. Like 4 flats on a Cadillac. Yeah.
My nigga.
Okay. Man, I really appreciate that. Let's see here. I got a couple minutes that I can spend with y'all. I ain't a cat, man. I'm probably gonna go right to sleep. I thought I was gonna fall into some poom, you know what I'm saying? But I'm probably gonna just hold it, I'm probably just gonna hold this energy for tomorrow night. I ain't gonna lie. I got a lot of work to do still before I go to bed, so I'm gonna try to get that out. But till then, That doesn't mean that, we can't just go over some stuff that I got in my trick bag. I always like to kind of show, what else is going on. But yo, I might say, man, I ain't like to give y'all a little bit extra show, just the fact that your boy wasn't on. Like, I don't think I came on at all. Did I come on at all this week? I think last time I came on would have been on Sunday, to be honest. Did I even come on Sunday? I don't know when I came on. I ain't gonna lie, I don't remember last time I came on, but it's been a little minute, but I had to make up for that. Now, this has been making its rounds. Check this out.
Sound bad, but don't take it like that. What is y'all annual income a year? I'm just being honest. That's okay. Girl. What happened to the grace?
Them niggas was like,
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
The grace. Where was the grace when you was asking, when you was pocket checking a group full of niggas, bro?
This is gonna sound bad, but don't take it like that. What is y'all annual income a year? Just be honest. That's it. Okay. Girl. What happened to the grace?
Men don't have grace. This woman was supposed to have grace. Goofy ass bitch.
Shut up, bitch.
I ain't gonna lie. In the list department, I mean, she's a hood rat. It's obviously she's a high class. She's a hood rat hoe from a strip club. But she should be asking any man. I'm gonna be honest with you. She shouldn't be asking any man what they make annually. She needs to be. You know what? You know what would have been a more appropriate question she should have asked? What she should have asked was, how much are y'all gonna pay for this hourly rate? That's what she should have asked.
That all up in me at one time. Don't try to make me take all that dick at one time.
Slow and easy.
He said, don't worry. I wouldn't do that to you. I would not rush all this dick up in you at one time. I'm gonna take it easy on you. She said, okay, I think I can take it. So he laid down, the nigga rushed all that dick up in her.
Jammed it into there.
Jammed and round.
Like Jam City.
All kind of dick up in that girl at one time.
Dang.
And took her breath some more.
This is gonna sound bad, but don't take it like that. What is y'all annual income a year? I'm just being honest. That's it. Okay. Girl. What happened to the grace?
And date us, and they're actually
Uh-oh. Now this is just to tell the truth to the young sister youth.
and date us, and they're actually disappointed. When you're wondering like, oh, well, why did he pursue me? Why did he want to be with me? And then now all of a sudden he pull it back and he want me to chase him. He got to fucking know you, and he's disappointed. Let me tell you this. It's my shit, so I can say, I done disappointed a couple niggas. I know that there are men out here that was just like, admire me from afar, and it was like, surprise, I'm a hoe. Like, surprise, look, I fucked you in a week. Like, I know that I disappointed you. Like, I think that men, they see you from afar and they're like, wow, she's out here doing her thing. She's a boss, whatever. And then they get you and they see you off that Casamigos. You drunk as a fucking fish. Your diet don't consist of nothing. You listen to trap music every time you wake up. You have no morning routine. You have no core values. And they date you and they're like, damn, like, I thought it was something else. A lot of times men.
God damn. Yo, she gets all the real ass, baby. And truth hurts. And the truth hurts. Oh, I had to share this with y'all. Check this out.
I'm even making this video today is to show y'all that the ass is ass. The ass is poking. I must have walked by and almost knocked the goddamn pictures off the wall.
My God.
Only reason I'm even making this video today is to show y'all that the ass is ass. The ass is poking. I must have walked by and almost knocked the goddamn pictures off the wall.
I'd buy that for $1.
I am cat, bro. She had all that ass, dog.
Only reason I'm even making this video today is to show y'all that the ass is ass. The ass is poking. I must have walked by and almost knocked the goddamn pictures off the wall.
I ain't gonna cap. That's a lot of ass.
Only reason I'm even making this video today is to show y'all that the ass is ass. The ass is poking. I must have walked by and almost knocked the goddamn pictures off the wall.
Now, yo, my boy, Miami Man says, be her peace, bro. She caused her own chaos and now wants you to fund the cleanup. Hell nah. Yo.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
Yeah, man. She had more cakes than Duncan Hines. One more time.
Only reason I'm even making this video today is to show y'all that the ass is ass. The ass is poking. I must have walked by and almost knocked the goddamn pictures off the wall.
Jesus Christ.
I'd buy that for $1.
Now, you know, they say girls just want to have fun, right? They say that girls just want to have fun. Well, they say girls just want to have fun. Well, maybe too much fun.
I gotta get this.
Hey!
Okay. I don't really understand the context of all the other shit, but shit. Yo, shred them down. That is coming out of their motherfucking out their deposit, bro. That is coming out of those ladies' deposit. For real. Yo, shit.
Get out of here before I kill you, nigga.
Shit crazy, boy. Shit crazy. Okay. Now look, here goes some Andrew Wilson simps out here called out here.
Black church. Wake the fuck up! It's not a black church. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! This guy.
Did it work? Are you alive now?
Yeah, I'm alive.
This is the power of the V-bag girl.
Pardon me?
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
What did you hear them say?
It's not a black church. Wake the fuck up! It's not a black church. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! This guy.
Did it work? Are you alive now?
Yeah, I'm alive.
This is the power of the V-bag girl.
Okay.
Got to know exactly who you are. Lord, have mercy.
We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused.
Any dude who let a girl do that to him like that, you feel me? And like she ain't return no favor. That's the same chick who's gonna cuck him and have it in the motherfucking corner. You know what I'm saying? Playing with his meat while she getting digged down by a big, tall black man.
You ain't lying.
Yeah, these motherfuckers is crazy out here, boy. Yeah, it's not a black church. Very prejudiced. Oh, there's one thing I gotta show y'all. Look at the usual suspects who's stealing from this Walmart.
Active robbery in progress. BJ's Concord. Gray Pontiac. Celeste Silver.
They are outside the store.
Hope y'all like jail.
Well.
This is a sick Negro.
Hey, y'all, I really appreciate you for tuning in for 2 hours with your boy, 2 hours plus. Once again, y'all, it is Cali West. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're feeling that shit. I didn't even have to have my lights on. Hopefully, I can still see me pretty clear. You dig? And I appreciate y'all. But check this out. I'm going to see y'all soon. Sooner than later, okay? And hopefully I'll come on early on Sunday, all right? So I appreciate y'all. Peace.